All right, and we are on air, and I forgot to turn on the Q&A app. I'm kind of terrified to see the questions we might get with it, but hey, let's go. All right, anyway, now that we're live, why don't we go around and do introductions, and I'll go ahead and start. My name is Aaron. I am the cat herder for this particular adventure. I am the Fire Opal. I guess my technical job title is Online Organized Play GM, but realistically I do a lot of stuff with online organized play, and organized play in general. And I also run the Forgotten Sagas of the 13th Age campaign, which, as Wade would have you know, is an award-winning campaign on Obsidian Portal. Wade, why don't you pick it up next?
Sure. I'm Wade Rockett, and I am the community relations guy for 13th Age Press. I also do quite a bit of work with Kobold Press. In fact, right now I am editing the just announced Deep Magic 13th Age compatible edition for Kobold by none other than Ash Law.
And while we're doing the introductions, why don't you describe your character as well? Give your name, race, class, one unique thing, that sort of thing.
Sure. Should I do it in character?
If you'd like, sure.
All right. My character is voiced by Patrick Warburton, by the way. All right. My name's Manfred Backwater, and I'm a fighter. I don't want to get racial here, but I'm half elf. I'm the fourth son of a rural noble family, and I'm just kind of finding my way in the world. I'm doing some freelance stuff for this Cult of the Architects or something, but I'm happy to pick up any extra work you got. I have farm wisdom also.
Okay.
Oh, and
So,
my
Ritzy,
one unique thing, I think that my real dad is a suspended elf who was found on our property who claims to be an elf prince from the 4th Age.
I can't, with that one unique background, I can't help think of an Encino Man. I'm picturing your dad as an elven Brendan Fraser.
Why must you ruin everything?
I just have to. At least you're not Jethro, like I was initially imagining.
Yes.
Anyway, Ritzy, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Alright, I'm Ritzy. I do website development, and I'm also starting up a Let's Play channel with my friend Jeaner called Missing Discs. And that's really it about me, but the character I'm playing is Thugriel, the High Elf Barbarian. He is a formal elven noble. He's kind of the black sheep of the family. And his one unique thing is he carries around a ragged teddy bear called Mr. Scuffy, and he thinks it's alive and his best friend.
All right. Patrick, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Patrick Weekes. My day job is writing video games at BioWare. I worked on the Mass Effect series, and I'm now working on Dragon Age Inquisition. I also write my own novels at night, and I occasionally am GM for Ritzy. My character is Mr. Human. Mr. Human is completely normal. There's nothing weird about him at all. He is a bard, and his bard songs absolutely do not reverberate and rewrite the walls of reality in tiny, uncomfortable ways that cause people's ears to pop when he casts spells. He is in no way a cosmic entity currently stuck wearing a human meat suit as a puppet.
Got it. All right. Grant, why didn't you go next?
Hey, my name is Grant, but I'm more well-known around these parts as Ironicus, as in the sidekick half of chipandIronicus.com. We do Let's Play videos. And also, I'm the GM of Let's Play the 13th Age, which has been going for a bit over a year now, so that's cool. And it is the flagship product of the 6 Feet Under sort of podcast network empire that was just launched last month. And my flagship product so far only, but that's going to change within a few weeks. And my character is inspired and named after an NPC from my game that I think got the short stick. So I'm gonna bring him back in spirit. Nikud Adler is a human cleric whoops. His one unique thing is that he's the keeper of the cornerstone. That's his position within the Cult of Architects, a group that is in charge of the expansion and construction of Cathedral, and is rumored to be in all sorts of shadowy dealings. Anything you've read, conspiracy theory about Freemasonry, just think of that, but with dragons next door. So yeah, that's Nikud.
All right, and lastly, let's have Ed introduce himself and describe his character.
Hi, I'm Ed Grabianowski. I'm a freelance writer for a lot of different places, but I cover tabletop games and RPGs for io9.com, and I'm the creator of robotviking.com. And my character is Avesh Otar, a half-orc rogue, who's kind of more of an assassin than a thief. And his one unique thing is that he's actually the exiled leader of a tribe of 10,000 nomads, but they live thousands of miles away. He's been sent away from them.
Okay. All right, so let's get you moved over to the map of the Dragon Empire, and you can see your tokens. We'll make sure everybody can move and adjust their tokens real quick. So you guys should see yourself roughly around where the setting for today's adventure is. The name of the town we're at is called Harrowdale, and it's kind of in between Glitterhagen and First Triumph. Similarly, in between Anvil and Axis. Everybody go ahead and make sure that you can move your token. Just click and drag. Also make sure that you can adjust your hit points and recoveries. The green bar is or the green number is your hit points. Your recoveries are in blue. And I screwed up on Evish's, so let's fix that.
All right.
I don't think Evish has 32 recoveries. That might be a bit much.
I'm not seeing where we are.
Neither am I.
I just see a view of the frost range.
Scroll down. You might want to zoom out a little bit. The zoom function is over on the left-hand side on that same toolbar. It's the magnifying glass-looking one. I recommend zooming out to about 70%. But yeah, scroll down to roughly where Glitterhagen is, and you should see yourselves.
Okay. Once I closed group chat, I was able to do it.
Okay, that'll work.
The best feature of Roll20 remains the little radio boop when you click and hold.
Yeah, the dang, yeah. If you want to or need to do that, just click and hold.
Yeah.
It's remarkably handy. Okay, so anybody having problems with their token? Any part of it?
No, I'm just pleased to have gotten between Thugreal and Mr. Scuffy.
That's okay, I fixed it. No one gets between Thugreal and Mr. Scuffy.
Otherwise, violence might ensue.
Back to...
So, assuming everything works for your tokens, why don't everybody go ahead and roll your icon relationships?
All right. All right. It looks like I have a 6 with the priestess. It's a positive relationship of Nikud's.
Okay.
I have a 6 complicated with the Elf Queen.
Okay.
Bupkis.
Not a... Okay.
Nothing for me.
I rolled a 5 for positive Prince of Shadows.
Okay. So the 6s. So it's just Grant with the 6. Is that it?
Yep.
I had a 6.
Oh yeah, you got a 6 with the
Elf Queen.
Okay. So for the 6s, you're going to start off with a magic item. The 5s hold on to, and you can use at some other at later point in the adventure, should you so choose. But what you're going to have, Grant, you're going to have something called a weapon of liberation. I'm not sure. I can't remember what your main hand weapon is.
It's a two-handed cudgel.
Okay.
But, in a holy way.
This will work perfect. So, so the description on this one is that whenever you swing this through the air, you smell incense. This is something obviously done by people related to the gods, if not necessarily the priestess herself. The bonus is this is +1 for attack and damage.
Okay.
And there is a quick action power, recharge 6+. If you have attacked with this weapon on the turn, you can allow an ally to roll a save against an ongoing effect. I cut and paste, except for this is dead tree, and that's kind of difficult. The quirk for this one is that you drone on and on about the priestess.
Oh boy, howdy, don't I?
I'm sure you might be doing that.
Now you won't know whether it was originally in the character or not.
Exactly. It's not the worst quirk that I've ever had come up in a magic item. The pun one. Whoever decided to make puns a quirk of a magic item, that was just evil. As for Ritzy, let's see, what is... And you said it was a conflicted Elf Queen, right?
Correct.
I think this might... Alright, so you have a +1 bloodthirsty weapon. This is also, again, +1 to attack and damage. And on this one, when you crit on a 20, you do crit damage if you hit on your next turn. And there is no quirk listed for this, so I'm going to pick one.
Okay.
Oh, might be right. The quirk is you have a taste for red meat.
For red meat.
Red
Is that
meat.
any red meat? Is that like, I'm going to see like one of my party members go down, I'm going to be like, I'm a little bit hungry.
I'm going to leave that up to you. It can be red meat that's cooked, or it can be red meat.
That's how it works at my table.
All right.
You have an insatiable craving for hot dogs.
Meat.
It said meat.
Well, true.
All right. So, as I said before, you guys are in the town of Haredale. It has been besieged by trolls, and these trolls have been... They're clearly under the command of an icon. And I'm going to give you guys the chance to pick which icon it is. It can be the Diabolist, the Lich King, the Orc Lord, or the Three. Which would you guys like to see?
Oh, I would vote for the Lich King.
I kind of like how the Diabolist attempts to unmake reality. That's something that hits me on a very deep and personal level, because it kind of, is what I would like to do. I mean, not in a mean way.
All right, so one for Lich King, one for the Diabolist.
I'm going to go with Diabolist, too.
Okay.
Sure, I'll join that bandwagon.
Okay, so it's looking like we're going to do the Diabolist for this one.
Demon.
So you all have been sent here by the Emperor to not only to help out with the siege, but because there is a particular treasure that the Emperor doesn't want falling into enemy hands, and for whatever reason the Diabolist is especially bad for this item to fall into her hands. This treasure, it's a steel chest, a very large steel chest that was owned by a former governor named Lucien Vries. And what you've been told is that Governor Vries was actually one of the Empire's top spy masters, and his archives, this steel chest, is full of information that he's gathered over decades of spying for the Emperor, and you can kind of see why the Emperor wouldn't like that getting into anybody's hands, let alone the Diabolist's hands. And that's why you in particular have come here. The question is, why was your character chosen to come here? You know what your task is, but why were you brought here? And let's go ahead and start with Ed. Why was Avesh chosen to come and do this task for the Emperor?
Oh boy, I might need a second. There's a good chance that he's basically just been acting as a mercenary, as a hired hand, and so the Emperor basically sees him as somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight and can be trusted just to get the job done for some cash and not have to worry about that information, being put to any other uses.
Okay, that's fair enough. All right, what about you, Grant? Why is Nikud chosen by the Emperor to come and do this particular task?
All right. I mean, if you're hunting down for secret information and you need an underground network in order to protect your own information gathering apparatus, who better to call than the cult of architects and our funny handshakes? So Nikud is there to just leverage that resource and make sure that all the thugs keep in line.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, Patrick, why is Mr. Human along for the ride? Why has the Emperor chosen him?
There are secrets. Secrets that could unmake this world. Secrets that would break the minds of lesser mortals. The rite of unmaking, the mists of perdition, the lost skulls of the unwritten. If someone needs to close that chest without their mind being liquefied by the knowledge contained therein, Mr. Human is happy to help.
So you creeped out the recruiter, and that's why he sent you away. I get it. All right, Ritzy, why is Thugriel along for the ride?
Well, Thugriel's good at smashing skulls, helping out, making sure the weaker are able to, do whatever their dexterity and bullshits need to do. I'm just here to make sure that everyone, is able to be safely able to take care of their stuff. I am the hired muscle. I am the bouncer.
All right, the bouncer with the teddy bear. I'm sure everybody's very confused, if not terrified.
Mr. Scuffy is my +1 companion.
All right, and Wade, why is Manfred here?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to any of that briefing. The cult of the architects just hired me to go with Nikud to this Harodel place. I don't really know what's going on, but if someone tries to mess with him, I'll fight him.
All right. So here's what you know about what's going around Harodel, is that you haven't been able to get the treasure out of town, both as a combination of the fact that this is a very large, very heavy steel chest, and the fact that the town is currently surrounded by demonic trolls. That tends to put a damper on any travel plans that anybody in town may or may not have. The Imperial Legion is on the way to relieve the garrison here. You don't think that you have to wait long. I mean, this is, if not the heart of the Empire, then very close to the heart of the Empire, so the Legion should be here relatively quickly. Let's see. The town is full of refugees that have been pulled in from the surrounding area when the trolls started to attack. And for right now, everything seems to be fairly evenly matched in terms of the defenders and the trolls on the attack. So with that being the case, the last thing is that these trolls are being led by a brute, a very unique troll that's called Marrow Breath. He's got an infamous reputation. He's been a danger in these parts for literally decades. And for whatever reason, he is leading this particular attack. He has led these hordes of trolls against Harrowdale. So, having known that, the question is, what have you done to help defend the city? You guys have been, in no small part, leading the defense of this siege. So, no, let's start with Wade. Let's put Wade on the spot again. What has Manfred been doing to help defend Harrowdale against these trolls?
Well, I don't want to get too technical with the military and the strategy and whatnot, but basically, if I see a troll, I hit it with my sword.
So you're just a grunt on the wall, huh?
Have I seen a troll yet?
You've probably seen many trolls at this point.
I've hit a few of them with my sword.
Okay. So, what about Thugriel? Is Thugriel following the Manfred line of siege defense?
Pretty much. Like, Thugriel sees a troll and he's just going to bash its skull in as fast as he can.
All right. So we got the Bash brothers on the wall. What about Mr. Human? What sort of things has he been doing to improve the defenses or keep Harrowdale safe from these trolls?
Well, the thing is, this is an operation for the Emperor who safeguards the nature of reality in this sphere. And the Diabolist is attempting to assault that with the trolls. I can reinforce the wards of reality in order to make it more difficult for the trolls to do their attacks and basically to cause resistance against the demons who are going to try to breach through the pitiful walls of reality and rend this world like tissue paper. Through my Balladeer talent.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I remember correctly...
You don't have to roll. I mean, this right here is a pure narrative situation.
Excellent.
You have decided that you have done this thing, so you have done it.
All right. So yes, basically improving everyone's reality a little bit and probably pissing off the Diabolist.
Okay.
Well, that is why we're here. So.
All right. What about you, Grant?
Well, Nicked has been lying low. I mean, he just has been using his clerical spells, of course, to just sort of triage and protect the those grunts on the wall. But at the same time, every once in a while, he just slips a sheet of paper to somebody. You see, most people think siege engines are best used from the outside in, but there's quite a few designs that if you do it properly, you can your defenses can be stronger than their attack if you just turn them around the other way. So who knows where these blueprints have been coming from? I am but a simple cleric.
All right. So, Ed, what has Avesh been doing to help out in the siege?
Well, Avesh has a background in uniting lawless scum into some kind of at least ragtag band. He's of course well known as the warlord who united the 9 clans. Of course, he's more well known 2,000 miles from here, but he's still well known. So basically, he's gone around and he's found every street urchin and thief and back alley dealer and otherwise disreputable people who usually are only looking out for themselves, and basically sort of browbeat or intimidated or just used his amazing leadership and charisma to basically unite them into some kind of guerrilla force to help defend against the trolls.
Okay.
It also occurs to me that Manfred, when he's not hitting trolls with his sword, would be using his farmhand experience to chop wood, dig trenches, carry sandbags and whatnot.
All right. That sounds good. Let's see. All right. So, in the finest traditions of these sorts of things, it is a dark and stormy night. Where are your characters at? Are they on the walls? Are they resting? Are they doing something hidden and potentially sinister?
Well, we have the iron chest in our possession. So,
yes, it is in your possession.
right. Nickett is definitely standing guard, if not, next to it. But he's got an eye on it. He set up his healing tent conspicuously close. So while people are getting their blessings and first aid before the night's assault that's sure to come, he's always got one eye on the chest.
All right.
Mr. Human is on the wall watching the trolls. He likes it at night because the sun is less loud.
Okay.
Thugrill is kicking back, having a few pints, preparing himself mentally while singing tales of old war songs with his brethren.
Okay. What about Manfred and Evish?
Avesh is sulking around the shadows on the outskirts, basically sort of scouting, so he'll know if any troll incursions are occurring first.
And Manfred.
Manfred is with Thugriel because that sounds like the best suggestion I've heard so far.
All right.
Drinking and singing. Perhaps dicing.
So, unfortunately, to interrupt your dicing and drinking and your skulking, among other things, an alarm sounds from the wall. As is not unexpected, the trolls are mounting an attack here at night. It seems like the wards of sorts that Mr. Human, I don't know what the specific word for this would be, but the things that he put up on the walls and around them, it's making it somewhat difficult for the trolls to focus, to concentrate, but nevertheless they're coming to the walls and are starting to climb over. The defenders have, while not completely caught off guard, is that most of the people were resting, sleeping, getting something to eat, and so the trolls are making a big push. It doesn't take you guys long to reach the walls. You've gone to the south wall, where things seem to be in need of the most help. And when you do get there, you see why it needs help. And that is because there are two very large siege trolls covered in demonic tattoos and sigils, many of them carved straight into their flesh, and yet somehow not regenerating. They're already on the wall as you arrive, and with that, I will move you to the map, and we will all roll initiative.
All right.
I don't understand why we were caught off guard. I told everyone the trolls were coming to rend their flesh and consume their bones, and everyone, instead of getting moralified, they just seemed to get sad.
That's
after the first time you told them, they just kind of started to avoid you a little bit more than they were before. Which is saying something, considering they really didn't want anything to do with Mr. Human anyway.
Well, Thugril's excited because the only thing better than singing about battle is doing a battle.
With my complete normal humanness, I have a, what is it, 21? Yes, 21 in it.
Alright, what about you, Ed?
11. Sorry, 13.
13 it is, alright. All right, top of round 1. The escalation die is at Frowny Face.
Aww.
Unfortunately, the trolls are going first. Siege Troll 2. Avesh, you unfortunately happen to be the closest to him, so he swings out with his clawed hands. And this is going to be versus AC on both occasions. 2, 7. So 24 and an 8 versus AC.
All right, the first one hits, second one does not.
All right, you will take 12 damage. All right, Siege Troll 1 follows up, and he's going to just go get stuck in with everybody over here. Engaged with Manfred and Thugriel is going to make an attack, one attack on each of you. This is against Manfred first. Oh, I really didn't like you, Wade. Sorry. Natural 20, and against Thugriel.
So angry.
21 versus AC on Thugriel. Which I'm
So
pretty
that's a
sure.
hit.
Alright, so Wade, you will take 24 damage.
Thanks.
Or Manfred, you will take 24 damage. Thugriel,
I don't take 24 damage.
yes. I sometimes the distinction is blurry.
Is this like a mazes and monsters thing?
You're just a rather elvish guy, that's all.
It's that chick tract all over again. Alright, so Mr. Human, you're up.
Oh, how much damage did I take?
12.
And I took 24.
Yes, you took 24.
If it helps, the runes that aren't regenerating aren't actually from injuries. Those are fundamental tears in the fabric of reality that have been rendered stable, causing them not to regenerate. It might not help.
That totally helps, bro. Thanks.
All right. Song of Heroes, I activate. The walls of reality warp ever so slightly around my allies, blades twisting slightly as they strike to find better spots. And then I'm going to unload a battle chant. Casting a spell, Tiny Little Echoes, and Avesh. The Siege Troll 2, Siege Troll near you. Your ears pop slightly as I make slightly creepy sounds in his direction. But not that creepy. Miss. Oh, wait. Well, I guess I should probably actually tell you what the number is before I just say miss, but it's a 14.
And
Oh, wait.
what was
Actually, no. It's a 14 against mental, though.
14 against mental will hit.
Oh, well, my goodness.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. 10 damage.
Alright. Alright, anything else from Mr. Human?
Nope, that's it. But everyone now has a +1 attack bonus until the start of my next turn.
Okay. Alright, Nikud, you're up. You're still muted, Grant.
All right, like I was saying, I already rolled a d6 for the Invocation of Lore, but since that came up as a 6, it's probably not going to matter. I did it anyhow. Nikud is going to start by scrambling up the top of the inner wall, whichever side that is.
The inner wall is, yes, that one.
Okay. And it's going to, from that vantage point, look down upon Siege Troll 2? No, Siege Troll 1, whichever one has not been hit yet.
That would be, yeah, Siege Troll
Yes.
1.
And fire a Javelin of Faith, which is normally +6, but is now a +7, thanks to that song.
Okay.
Whoops. D20 plus. 19 against mental defense, which
that'll hit.
is a hit. Awesome. And since he's as yet undamaged, this gets an extra d6. 6 plus for 16 damage on Siege Troll 1.
Wow, that's impressive. All right. So your Javelin of Faith goes lancing into this creature and sears it with its divine energy.
Mm-hmm. And Nicked will just make sure his footing is sure and look behind him to see, just get a look at the rest of the battle for the city at large. How are the other walls holding up?
The other walls seem to be holding up, is the best way to put it.
Okay.
They're not throwing off the trolls and their allies in droves, but they are holding out. There's been no breach, but there's been nothing getting into the city beyond the walls.
All right, great. That's my turn.
All right, Manfred, you're up.
All right. I use a free action to take a mental note of their awesome tattoos, because maybe I want some.
They are
and now, as a fighter, I will roll dice and then find out what I do. I have now rolled things.
Yes, you have.
I don't see what the result is.
I don't care what defense you're targeting. 22 will hit.
What?
22 will hit. I don't care what defense it is.
I didn't see where the result was.
It might be because sometimes chat will not scroll all the way down automatically.
Okay.
So.
All right. 22 will hit.
It's a natural odd hit.
So what awesome thing? Oh, a natural odd hit.
Yes.
Okay, I will carve an opening. My critical hit range with melee attacks increases by a cumulative +1 this battle until I score a crit.
Okay, so it's at 19. So, all right, go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. What is my damage? 2d8 + 4.
Normally I have a fun thing to do when people roll natural ones, but I'm not going to do it this time.
I just wanted to make sure I understood how to use the app correctly, and that was an excellent use of my natural one.
If you're gonna roll a 1, at least it's when it doesn't matter.
So what are you actually rolling for your damage there, Wade? Because I'm seeing a lot of d8s.
2d8 + 4.
Okay, I'll take the first 2d8 then. So 15, 19 in total.
Okay.
7%. Okay. And Siege Troll 1 is staggered. And anything else from Manfred?
Nope, Manfred's good.
All right. Thugriel, you're up.
All right. Let's see if I can. And I normally have a +7, but because of what did you get? The special weapon.
Yes.
I have an additional one, so I actually.
And I changed the fundamental fabric of reality for you, Thugriel.
Yeah. Oh, does that count too? Well, that's still only 11. So.
It's sadly only an 11. If you were dual wielding, you would get to reroll, but sadly you're not.
No, so I do miss damage equal to level, so I just run in, I swing my sword, but I was just, this one tattoo, it looked so familiar, I just missed. It was too pretty. I didn't want to mess up his tattoo.
You saw it on a lady that you met once after some very heavy drinking.
Yeah, it was a lady or a dude. I wasn't sure at the time. It was human. They all kind of look alike.
Well, I mean, if it was an elf, then you would know. It's like, well, there's really not much difference anyway, so. Alright. Anything else from Thugriel?
No.
Alright. Evish, you're up.
Alright, so I do not wish to be engaged with this particular siege troll. So I draw my weapon, and I'm going to attempt an evasive strike.
Alright.
I rolled a natural 20, if you can believe that.
Hey, it happens. That's what 20 sides on the dice. Alright, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Let's see here. 2d8 + 4, so that's 11, and that's doubled, correct?
Yes. So
Right.
22.
22 total. And basically, I stab him in the thigh, and then use his momentary distraction from the pain to dash around him into a place where I'm not being engaged by giant trolls.
Okay. Well, briefly not engaged by giant trolls. I think the troll
For the moment, yeah.
Anything else from Evish?
I shout some curse words in Orcish, but that's about it.
All right.
Excellent disengagement. I can't wait to see who Siege Troll 2 goes after next.
Oh, you're going to find out very quickly. Top of round 2, escalation die is at 1. The giant die is actually floating in space, or at least it so appears to Mr. Human. The rest of you don't see anything. All right.
The divine geometry of the cube does watch upon us all.
Exactly. He's going to move so that he's engaged with Evish and Mr. Human. All right. He's going to make a swinging claw attack against each one. Actually, first, I got to regenerate. Let's see. So he regenerates. You see his flesh, rubbery flesh, mending together. And actually, where the new flesh is found, there are actually more of those demonic sigils. It's really kind of creepy for everybody looking at it, except for Mr. Human. And let's see. And in fact, this troll actually regenerates, and a third arm comes out of his back.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not. Let's see. So there's going to be 3 attacks. Let's see who gets the extra. Sorry, Mr. Human, you get the extra attack. So first against Evish. Christ. All right, I've crit Evish on that, and then 2 attacks on Mr. Human, which will both miss. So unfortunately, Evish can take 24 damage.
All right, wow. I'm going to use my roll with it at will because I currently have momentum to take half damage.
Okay, so take 12. That would be a very good use of roll.
It's okay, I have a plan.
All right.
I have many plans.
Is the plan getting hit?
If that is the plan, you're doing very well. I have to admire it. All right, Siege Troll 1, he also regenerates. And he actually, the claws on his hands, they start to, I mean, before they were kind of like knives, now they're kind of like short swords. And he is once again going to swing once at Manfred and once at Thugriel. And he is no longer staggered at the moment, by the way. So first against Manfred. Are you kidding me?
You all should try not getting hit. It's much more comfortable.
I'm sorry, Wade, but you're going down.
Can I just say that Gareth Ryder Hanrahan's a real bastard?
I think it's more of my dice are the bastard. I
This
never roll.
will fit within my plan.
Good. Aaron, I have a heavy warrior, which once per battle while wearing heavy armor, which I am, I can use a free action to take half damage from that attack.
All right, so you'll take 13 damage from that.
Woohoo!
Are you still awake and on your feet?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
I have 3 whole hit points.
Man, that's a lot of hit points. And as long as you have 3 hit points, it's as good as having all your hit points.
Exactly. It's a binary. I'm either up or I'm down.
Plus, they're primes. That means they can't be divided evenly.
Thanks, dude.
All right, and on Thugriel, 22 versus AC, which
That's a
considering
hit.
one before hit you, this will hit as well. You will take 14 damage.
Okay.
And with that being said, Mr. Human, you are now up again.
Okay. Mr. Human produces a spiked chain whip that moves with deadly accuracy. He hopes. And wait, I can do it on the screen.
Yes, you can.
Let's check my. Alright, a sec. Well, that's much lower. 20 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1. Good.
I'm sure that this is part of the plan as well.
In a different reality, that would have hit. He would have been more up than wide.
Right.
And I'm going to attempt to sustain my song, forcing everyone to see things through the context of a different reality. And 9 does not sustain the song. Final verse. Effect ends immediately. One ally of my choice gains +2 bonus to their next attack roll this battle. Anybody have anything big they're going to dish out?
It was part of the plan, but I mean, I'm not the heaviest hitter.
I am a heavy hitter if I hit.
Tell you what, Avesh, how about you? Because you can sneak attack now, right?
Yeah, I can. I'll give it a shot. I was gonna rally because I'm hurting, but I'll go for it.
Yeah. All right, all yours.
All right, so that's a +2.
It's a +2 on your next one. My +1 attack bonus to everyone has gone away, though.
Okay. Anything else for Mr. Human?
Done.
All right, Nikud, you're up.
Okay, Nikud will start by just making his own sigils, hand signs, and touching the emblem of a crossed T-square and drafting pen upon his armor, and that will summon a spell called Spirits of the Righteous. So here's my macro. That's an 18 once you add in the escalation die against mental defense.
That'll hit.
Okay, and that will be against, I want to finish off Siege Troll 1, so then we can all focus on Troll 2.
Okay.
And the damage roll is 46 plus 4. It is an encounter, so I only get to do this once. For 18 damage on Siege Troll 1. And the add-on effect is that my ally with the fewest HP, which is going to be either Manfred or Evish.
I'm pretty sure it's Manfred.
Okay.
I'm down at 10.
Whoever has the least, just determine that between yourselves, will get a +4 AC bonus until the end of my next turn. Now, that's a standard action. So now that... All right, who took that? Just question posed to the group.
I would really like to take that, seeing as how I have 3 hit points left.
Yeah, Evish just got 8. Manfred has got 3.
3 is definitely the lowest, so he gets the +4 AC bonus, while Avesh, since he is not so shielded, will be getting my first use of heal for the battle. And Avesh, please spend a recovery.
Excellent, excellent.
Does he get a bonus with that?
No,
Okay.
It's just a recovery. This healing spell is just recovery.
Alright. It's better than no recovery at all.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 10, so that's a 12, puts me to 20. This thing seems, I can't seem to make it track my recoveries properly, but I'm tracking those separately, so.
That's my fault. How many recoveries are you down? Just one?
I've used just one.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's my bad. Alright, it should be fine now.
All right, that's standard and quick. Nikud likes where he is right now, so I'm forfeiting my move. That's my turn. Manfred.
Manfred, you're up.
All right. I'm once again going to attack this damn troll.
The troll is staggered again, by the way.
I'm sorry?
The troll is staggered.
Awesome. I have rolled a 17.
17 will hit.
Awesome. And that, of course, is a natural odd.
Natural odd, I think,
Yep.
increases your crit again.
Yeah, it does.
Right, so
2d
you're at
4, so I did 9 points of damage, and I'm once again carving an opening. So yeah, my crit range, I now crit on an 18 or greater.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
Works.
Also, oh no, Not also. I'm done.
All right. Thugriel, you're up.
Alright. If I actually click on the chat, that would help. Change. I don't know how to type. So I am, which Siege Troll run is currently staggered, right?
Right.
Alright, so 23 on the Siege Troll 1.
That'll hit.
Alright, and since it is staggered, I get to do my normal melee, but then I also activate Slayer, so I do an additional 2d6.
Okay.
So,
Roll away.
So there's that, and then just 2d6. So I'm doing 25 damage
All right.
on Siege Troll 1. So I go in and I just start slashing at him.
You all but gut this troll. It is. You almost take it completely apart. It falls to its knees and then topples over, but you can already see the rubbery meat starting to knit itself back together slowly, and you think that it'll get up again on you.
All right. I'm assuming that it's the standard elemental weaknesses that trolls have. Being demonic doesn't give them an extra weakness to holy damage.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Worth asking though. But okay.
Yes. On a meta level, you know you're pretty sure that they are still vulnerable to fire and acid. All right. Anything else from Thugriel?
No, I'm good.
All right. Evish, you are up.
All right, Avesh glances over his shoulder and he notices this epic display of troll slaughtering that Thugriel has just put on, and so he bares his teeth and lets out a war cry and wades into Siege Troll number 2 with my deadly thrust. Troll 2 staggered?
It is not staggered at the moment.
Not
No.
staggered. Alrighty. Let's see, 19.
19 will hit.
Alrighty then. $17 damage.
17. All right. It is now staggered. At least for a moment. All right. Anything else from Evish?
No, I think I'll stay here engaged with this troll.
All right. Top of round 3. Escalation die is at 2.
Did Evish's include a sneak attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, that's why I'm here.
All right. Siege Troll 2. He starts to regenerate. And he's already got an extra arm. And you can see that his hide is it's growing thicker as the injuries are healing themselves. His skin is becoming more like, I mean, it was already pretty leathery, but now it's becoming more of a hard hide. And you think it'll be slightly more difficult to injure him. Siege Troll 1, as not unexpected, also stands up, and let's see. He actually grows a set of wings, small wings, almost comically small, but as the troll starts to pull itself together, it starts sprouting demonic-looking wings. And, okay.
That's
So Siege Troll 2 will once again make a single attack against... actually, no. He's got 3 arms. So I have to figure out who's getting the extra. Mr. Human, you're getting the extra. So first against Evish, once again versus AC, 21.
Hit.
And then against Mr. Human, so 8 and a 17 against versus AC.
Oh, the 17 hits.
All right, so you will both take 12 damage.
I will use roll with it again.
Okay. I thought is that a once per battle, or is that a?
It says at will, and I have to have momentum.
Yeah.
With a rogue, you just gotta spend momentum. So as long as you have momentum, you can spend it however you like.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I just didn't remember offhand. All right.
I'm sorry.
So,
What was the total damage again?
the 12 damage.
So I take 6.
Yes. And let's see, Siege Troll 1. I think it's attacking twice against Thugrail. Seems like it's what it would do. I'm not sure it sees Manfred a threat after it nearly eviscerated him in 2 hits. So 2 attacks against Thugrail, both of 15 versus AC.
My AC is 16.
All right, so it will miss both times. And Mr. Human, you're up.
Are the 2 siege trolls considered to be close enough to be in a group?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, then my color spray can hit both of them. So let's see. First, so without disengaging, this is a close quarter spell. So Avesh, you can still sneak attack. I am twisting the nature of reality, and little things come out, burrowing into their brains. So first attack is.
It attacks the part of their brain that makes them see color. Ah, I get it.
Ideally. So that's an 18 against mental.
That'll hit.
And that is the same thing.
Yes. So that will hit both of them.
Okay. And in both cases, let's see. First, against Siege Troll 2, I do 9. Against Siege Troll 1, I do 14. And if either of them are at less than 10 hit points, they are now weakened until the end of my next turn.
And you did 14 on the second one? Then yes, he is staggered. He's also fallen over. The Siege Troll one, I mean.
Right.
But he will be, you said weakened, right?
Yep, weakened. -4 to attack and defense, I believe.
I believe so. Yes. Okay, anything else from Mr. Human?
Nope. I have tied them more closely to this reality, which makes them easier to hurt, I hope.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Nikud, you're up.
All right. So Siege Troll 1 is down, is
He's
unconscious
currently down,
for
yes.
the moment. Okay.
He is regenerating, but even at an even slower pace than before. You don't think he can do it many more times?
Okay. These two, the Bash Bros, as you named them, have got this in hand. So Nikud is just going to run along the wall here, and then with a flying leap, take the fight to the other Siege Troll with his move action. On the way, once again, blessing Manfred with what's the name specifically? With heal. My second use of heal of the battle, so that's a recovery for Manfred. And it's time to punch this Siege Troll's lights out. Yeah, why doesn't it actually roll that?
I'm not sure why that didn't work. That should have.
Okay, I'll just type it manually. 1d20. And make that a +8, including the escalation die. 19 versus AC.
19 will hit.
Okay.
Nice recovery rate.
That flying leap deals 16 punching damage on the second siege troll, and because of the Domain of Leadership feature, hit or miss, all allies gain a +1 attack bonus against Siege Troll 2 until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
So, yeah, punch this one.
All right. Anything else from?
No, that's move standard quick.
All right. Manfred, you're up.
Wade, you're muted. You're doing that thing I did.
I was not saying anything worth listening to. All right, so we should focus on Troll 2, you're saying? Correct?
Yep, that's what he said.
Okay.
And you were technically not engaged because he's down, so you don't have to...
You've got a bonus for it if you want to grab an extra +1 floating.
For disengage or for the attack?
No. Domain of Leadership, you have a +1 to attack against Siege Troll 2 for this round.
And Aaron, you were saying that I am not engaged with Troll 1?
Yeah, he's down at the moment, so you don't need to roll to disengage.
Okay, sweet. I am going to pile on to Troll 2.
All right.
See if this works.
We can only hope.
What the crap? Yeah, no. That's just the word melee. All right. Computer, roll my attack. Roll 1d20 plus 6. Hey now.
All right, that's a hit, and
That's
more
a
than that.
crit. All right.
Yeah,
All right, so earlier than ever, sir.
that is a crit. I'm so pleased. Roll 2d8 plus 4. Okay, so 26.
26. All right, he goes down. He's still alive. He's going to regenerate, but there, like as with Siege Troll 1, there's not much left of that particular Siege Troll. All right, Thugriel, you are up.
Alright. Then I am going to make a move action to Siege Troll Run to try to take him out.
This is one of the rare times you could use the coup de grace rules.
You could.
Yeah.
Because they are both technically down right now. They will regenerate, but that's all they've got left in them. Just one more.
But Thugriel's Elven Code of Honor would prohibit him from striking a fallen opponent.
Nah. Why do you think I'm complicated with the Elf Queen? And I get, what is it, a +4 also to my attack? Is that what it is on this one?
You get a +1 from me.
Yeah.
+1 from you.
Yeah.
So it's... yeah. So I am hitting with a 26.
You are, which definitely hits.
And is he also staggered?
Yes, he has no hit points at the moment. Neither one of them has hit points at the moment.
Okay, well, if he's staggered, because that activates my player. So, and
So you did
23.
23 damage.
That girl just sees where the party's at. He's just going at it with everyone, just gonna slash this one siege troll.
Given how much damage you've done to it while it's down and still trying to regenerate, I'm going to say that you kill this one outright. So describe how it dies.
Well, Thugreal sees that someone's going to get the victory kill, and he can't have that. He has to be the one that's going to take the glory. So he goes in with his sword, he smacks it with a shield, and then takes the sword and goes straight up through the chin and through the skull.
Okay.
And if that counts as me taking it out, then that automatically activates my Barbarian Cleave.
Yes. Yes, it is now officially dead. It's not going to regenerate anymore after that.
Which means I get to make another melee attack against... But I don't know if I'm close enough to the other siege troll to make another
I'll allow
attack. Okay. So that means I get to attack that one.
Just don't roll a 1, otherwise you're probably fine. Yes.
And I hit it. So I go from that, I pull my sword out, I go running back over to the other one to slash at it and do... And is it staggered as well?
Yes, it's technically staggered.
So I'm going to do 27 damage to it.
And yes, again, given how much damage you've done to this, I'm going to say that you've killed it outright. So describe how you've killed this one in a welter of gore.
I go in, I just start screaming, and since the other one got it straight up the chin, I just go straight up, pull up its head, and just slash its throat.
Alright. These trolls had taken so much damage before Thugreal got to them that they just expired at the ferocity of the ongoing attacks. So, alright. Combat is over.
Question.
Yes.
So one of the trolls, as part of regenerating, its skin had hardened to make a hardened armor.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to skin it later and turn its skin into some awesome demon-etched armor?
It's certainly possible. You don't have a lot of experience with, skinning demonic trolls, but you think it might be doable.
It's never too late to learn. I have one of the townspeople drag the corpse away and put it in storage.
All right.
Try to ignore the whispers when you put it on.
Another victory for listening to the plans of the divine blueprint, but we're just turning it into a shopping trip. All right.
All hail the holy cad. All right, so you all can get a quick rest. So you can spend any recoveries if you so choose.
I think I'm good.
Definitely
And as soon as you're done spending recoveries, if you are doing so, go ahead and make me a perception check plus wisdom.
Wisdom, you say?
And whatever background you feel is appropriate.
Mr. Human spends 1 recovery and is up near full.
That's a 19 for that perception check.
Okay.
One must always be looking over one's shoulder if you look to be anything more than a mere initiate in the Cult of Architects.
Okay. Actually,
I spent 2 recoveries and I'm full.
Grant, add a +1 to that, so you have 20.
Oh, okay.
Because you were on the wall a lot, keeping track of the other stuff.
All right, a nice round 20. Thank you.
So we have a 14 from Mr. Human. Does anybody else roll theirs?
So I'm sorry, we're rolling perception check.
Mine was terrible, so don't worry about it.
I'm sorry, I was recovering. What are we rolling?
Rolling a perception check plus wisdom.
Oh.
Roll a what checks?
Perception.
I can do that.
And whatever background you feel is appropriate.
While everyone is just resting and looking around and patching themselves up, Nikud is assisting while telling them about, One time I was listening to the priestess, and have you ever seen the priestess in person? Anyhow, this priestess, just on, droning, you might say.
All right. So you're telling everybody about the priestess.
I will
met her one time, and she's totally in love with you, but she won't admit it. She can't admit it because of her position. And you notice that over on one of the other walls, where they're cleaning up from their attack, and not really paying the most attention, there's a group of goblins that sneak over the edge, slit the throat of a sentry, and immediately run off down into the city. It's a small group, probably maybe 4 or 5 of them, but they flee pretty much immediately from the wall and into the city proper. It's hard to tell what their plan is in mind, but having a group of goblins in town while there's a siege on outside is generally not a good idea. So what are you guys going to do to catch those goblins? Let's start with Ed. What are you doing to help corral and find these goblins and deal with them?
Well, I let out a certain, not secret, but a very specific whistle that alerts those various thieves and thugs that I had cajoled into sort of working with me earlier, just to let that network know, basically, to be on the lookout. And so hopefully somebody is going to get in there and grab them. And then meanwhile, I'll leap down off the wall and chase after them.
All right. So roll me a skill check. Roll me your Dread Assassin plus charisma on this to see how well you communicate to the thieves exactly what's going on.
Great. My total is only 12.
Okay. So you make your whistle and hop down off the wall, but you're not sure that your message got through right because the answering whistles and other messages come through kind of confused, like you've asked them to hunt down a group of renegade chefs. So you're
sous chefs.
This is going to end poorly for some chefs.
But the ones who survive will have fantastic ingredients.
Yes, they will. Alright, well, I mean, they've already got trolls, so they can make troll jerky, and that's a high delicacy in and of itself. Alright, what about Nikud? What are you doing?
Well, since the alarm has been raised, it's time to do something a bit more practical. This is when all that siege weaponry it comes to bear. See, there's a catapult right near here on this wall, and it wouldn't be too difficult to re-rig it to act as more of a personnel delivery system down into the city itself. So it's time to do that rigging, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to use my Tinker background. What ability score would you prefer?
In this case, go ahead and use Intelligence.
Intelligence, so +0. That's a 10. Oh, nuts.
Yeah, unfortunately, the catapult took some damage in the attack, and so it's less about tinkering with it to get it to fire somebody into the city after the goblins, as it is get it fixed, period. And you don't think you have time for that.
Those darn trolls.
Alright. Alright, now what about Mr. Human? What are you doing to deal with these goblins who have fled into town?
Mr. Scuffy, they might be after the big box, and I'm going over to the people whose throats were slit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any healing magic, but if there's anything I can do, then I will help. And if there's not, then I will just tell them it's okay. and they're going to some place beyond even their imagination.
All right. God, what's the best one? All right. Roll your Cosmic Impossible Remnant plus plus Wisdom.
Okay. So 17. That's a 21.
All right. They have rejected this reality and substituted your own. And all of a sudden they feel up at their throat and going, wait a minute, I had my neck cut.
You were going to a better place, but maybe not today.
And he looks at you and he backs up very slowly, and then he says, I'm going to go after those goblins.
Okay.
Bye. And you're not sure whether he's more afraid of the trolls on the outside or you.
Yes.
Okay. What about Thugriel? What is Thugriel doing about the goblins?
Thugriel's gonna look to see if there's like a way like he can like maybe push a rock or just something to help stop the influx of the goblins. Something to slow them down.
There aren't any more goblins coming in.
Oh, okay.
That's been taken care of. Now, the question here is the ones who have already gotten in.
Now, I did warn Mr. Scuffy.
Yes, you did.
Yes, Thugriel, since Mr. Scuffy was warned, he feels that Thugriel feels that Mr. Scuffy is being threatened. So he's going to look for the quickest and easiest way that he can go and just take out the goblins.
All right. Probably the fastest way is running over the rooftops. If that's something Thugriel would do.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll me. Let me see. Go ahead and roll me your nomadic barbarian, plus dexterity.
Okay.
Or strength, your choice.
Just strength. So 14.
14. Okay, so you start running on the rooftops after these goblins. It doesn't take too long to find where they were gone because they've never been in here. They get kind of lost. You are about to jump down and end one when you slip on one of the wet roof tiles. You fall off the roof. Thankfully, there's a nice, soft goblin to break your fall. And when I do mean break your fall, you've broken the goblin. So there is a broken and wrecked goblin no longer breathing at your feet, and the other goblins are looking at you in what amounts to complete terror. And all right, so
as they should.
Yes, as they should. You're not sure if they're looking at you with the terror or Mr. Scuffy. It's difficult to say. What about Manfred? What is Manfred doing to stop these goblins?
Well, you remember my seeming just thought of it throwaway line at the beginning where I said that I was moving sandbags and digging trenches and splitting wood?
Indeed.
Actually, what I was doing was setting up a cunning set of obstacles inside the town that would guide any invaders to a certain point, which I am now racing to head them off at.
Ah, okay. Okay, so give me...
I was thinking intelligence plus my farm wisdom background.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can do Merc. Your Merc soldier. That would also be appropriate.
Yeah, I should have put more points into farmhand. That's my favorite background.
Farmhand is fantastic.
How often can you even use farm wisdom? Come on.
Hey.
Use it when you can, because it's great.
That's true. I'll use it because it's great.
So yes, do intelligence or wisdom plus either of those two backgrounds. Your call.
Okay.
I can see.
3, 4. I'll use wisdom because I'm using farm wisdom. Farm wisdom. 15.
15. All right. So the goblins have fled from Thugriel in abject terror, and they are herded right along down your little stretch of fenced-off streets and alleyways, right into where you are waiting for them. And before they've even had a chance to realize that somebody is right there with a big grin and a sword, you've cut down 2 of them, leaving only 1 left. And having seen all of his comrades get slaughtered, he holds up his hands, and you can tell he doesn't quite get what the gesture is supposed to mean because he's still got his weapons in his hands. But it looks like he's trying to surrender.
Or make a lethal overhand attack.
It could be that too, but you're pretty sure he's trying to surrender given the way that he's pissed his pants.
He could be distracting me from his weapon.
Yeah, the smell is pretty bad, so, you know.
I accept his surrender and relieve him of his weapon, and then wait for the others to catch up.
All right. It doesn't take too long for everybody to arrive. They saw you tear off like a bat out of hell, except for Thugriel, who just kind of follows where the goblins ran to. I'm sure Thugriel is very disappointed that you slaughtered them before he did.
Thugriel is very disappointed, but at the same time, I got to take out both those trolls, so I can let this one slide.
True, and you did smash one goblin beneath your feet, so.
That is true.
So anyway, as soon as you all get there, the goblin looks around, his eyes widen. He realizes that things are probably about to get worse for him in some way, and he just trembling, he finally drops his weapons. Not so much because he remembered that he has them in his hands, but because he's shaking so much. And he looks at you. He looks back and forth through all of it. Looks at. He tries to find the most reasonable-looking one of you, which is kind of difficult in this group. And eventually, he settles on Nakud. And he.
Oh, good choice.
He drops at his. He drops. He puts his head to the cobblestones and grabs onto your ankles and starts begging for his life. He says, "Spare my life, gentle masters, and guard me from these trolls. They ate my cousin, and my cousin's cousin, and their brother, and they ate a lot of my cousins. And they gobbled them like squirrels. Have you ever had squirrels? Squirrels are really good. And wait. I mean, look. They sent me to find a woman. And they said her name was Jelly. Jelly? So, you humans have weird names.
Yeah.
And they said to look for the night candle, and they said that we needed to end the siege, and that we're paying her with magic, a high price, and I'd have haggled. I don't know why they paid that much. But look, just let me go, please. Just save me from the trolls. I'll be good, I promise.
Okay.
Thank you for the help, little
one. The most persuasive goblin ever.
You have taken the first step. You have taken the first step towards salvation.
I'm just super impressed with your interrogation skills.
It was really impressive. I mean, he spilled his guts, his metaphorical guts, unlike the rest of you who would have spilled his physical guts.
So, sorry, I had a little trouble hearing it on the speaker. He said something about a night candle?
A night candle. Let's see. Several of you, those of you who have a Prince of Shadows relationship, you have heard of the night candle. The rest of you, go ahead and make me an intelligence check to see if you've heard of these. But those of you with a Prince of Shadows background, relationship, you don't need to roll.
All right.
The night candle, Mr. Scuffy. That's interesting.
So,
if I have a background as a tavern bouncer, could I use that to add to the roll?
Yeah. I think that would probably be the best in the situation.
Not many Prince of Shadows on the farm.
Hey, you'd be surprised at what happens on the farm. There's some shifty chickens.
Yeah, I don't want to know what's happened on the farm. All right, so Ritzy has not weighed. Manfred has. You've heard something about it in the tavern. All right, so what night candles are is that they are rare magical trinkets, and they burn very brightly, but only to people who have been attuned to them. And the attunement is done. You just put a drop of blood on the wick, and
Like you do.
yes, exactly. But only the people who are attuned to it can see the flame, and it doesn't illuminate the area around it. So it's usually used as a signaling device or a beacon for a group. And if there is a night candle burning here in Harrowdale, whoever the enemy is can see it, but you will not be able to.
All right.
So the question is, he told you about the night candle. He also told you that he was looking for a woman named Jalay. At least that's what you think he said. Goblins, not exactly enunciation very well. So what are you guys going to do to find this Jalay woman?
And we have not heard of this Jalay woman previous.
No, you haven't. You are not aware of her. So she's either not using her real name, or she's just stayed out of the way.
How long have we been in this town? Like, how familiar are we with the locals?
You've been here less than a week. You've been here several days, but less than a week.
Okay.
Well, so the goblin is supposed to be going through the town looking for this night candle, and that's the signal for where they're supposed to meet this woman, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Put the goblin on a leash and start heading through the town.
Okay.
If I mixed my blood with the goblins, would I be able to see the night candle?
You're not sure, but maybe.
Way to find out.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of goblin blood from which to choose.
It couldn't hurt.
That's true.
What if I just drank all the goblin blood?
That's unhygienic. Also, it doesn't get into the bloodstream that way, and the digestion process would probably cause it to lose effectiveness.
That's unhygienic. You should inject it instead.
So we can either take this one, or I can scrape some off of my boots from the one I smashed. It's up to you.
There's a few who are still leaking. That they're missing limbs, but they're still leaking around. So what would you guys like to do? What's your final plan? Are you gonna bleed it dry? Are you gonna put it on a leash?
Yeah, we should just leash it and make him lead us to wherever he thinks he's supposed to go.
I would really like to see if this mix your blood with goblins idea.
Yeah, I'm adding some goblin blood to my blood.
Yeah.
It's all blood, right? That's basically how it works.
Okay, give me a cosmic entity plus wisdom.
Is it always wisdom? Wisdom isn't my good one.
Do intelligence.
I'm not sure intelligence is applicable either, but you know.
No, the intelligence is less applicable than most things, but you're approaching this from a somewhat skewed logic in the first place. So.
It's a 25.
Oh.
Okay.
13 plus 6 background plus 6 int and level.
All right, so you feel decidedly less human, which for the people around you is not a surprise. But you feel very goblin. You put about I don't know. You put about a cup worth of goblin blood into you, and it burns as it goes through your veins, and then it feels kind of nice. It feels kind of natural, just the way it's supposed to be. And you feel shorter than you usually are. You feel uglier than you usually are. You feel decidedly less hygienic than you usually are. And you think that it's probable that you can now see this night candle.
Excellent. Works well for everyone. Mr. Scuffy, do you want to do it?
Well, meanwhile, while they look for the night candle, Nikud is going to start looking for the woman by looking at the church records. Because if anything happens in a town like this, anyone is born, dies, is christened, the church should have a record of it.
Okay.
So I'm going to add my religious scholar to this, and just like researching that would be intelligence, you think, or
Yeah,
what?
intelligence.
Okay.
That's a good question. Let's look at the Q&A. Where are all the ladies at? We've got a lady. We just don't have multiple ladies.
That came out to 15, so...
15 is enough in this case.
Okay.
You look through these records, and you do not find any indication of her at all. And you're sure that it's not because the records are incomplete, but because, for whatever reason, this person is not in these records.
Okay, that makes me think pseudonym, then.
It's enough to deduce that it's either a pseudonym, or she could be from the refugees that came from out of town.
Okay, yeah, all
and
right.
are now hiding here in Harrowdale.
I report my findings to the group. I thought to myself, what would the priestess do? Well, the priestess would just go to the church. So I did that, and that priestess. And here's what I found.
All right. We have had a few questions in the Q&A. What dice set this use? It uses D20 based for the most part. Asking if drinking the goblin's blood would make you a Grey Warden. I'm not. I have to admit that's something I didn't think of.
So I just went through the joining. That's what I did. Okay.
All right. Yeah, and the troll, yes, the troll had leathery chicken wings. And all right, that's all the questions. All right. So is anybody else going to do anything to help find this woman?
I think I feel like we're pretty much set.
Yeah, I think we're set.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
Okay. So you start kind of combing the town, looking for indications of a light that only Mr. Human can see, which, when you think about it, is maybe not the best way to figure out if something is actually there or not.
Well, we've got the goblin too, right?
That's true. You do have the goblin. So you're using them. Him as the control. And it doesn't take you too long before you hit the western outskirts of town, in one of the more dilapidated areas, and you find that at what appears to be an abandoned slaughterhouse, or at least not recently used slaughterhouse, you see a night candle. Both Mr. Human and the Goblin point out a night candle on top of an arch. And it's pretty clear that this is the place you're looking for.
Of course, it's an archway. It's always an archway.
It
It's
is.
just, I wish you could all see it. You could all see it if you wanted to.
Having built many archways in my day, I'm part of the reason it's always an archway.
So now that you've found the night candle, the Goblin looks back and forth at you and says, "Can I go now, please?"
Sure.
What
Mr.
could possibly
Human
go
has
wrong?
no reason not to let him go. I mean, he's obviously learned what's going to happen, and he'll either become a better person or do something bad and die and go to a better place.
I can only hope that this goblin learns to be useful in life, and we cannot all be bricks in the great cathedral, but he may one day serve as mortar.
Quite possibly, literally.
Mr. Scuffy thinks that this goblin's weak. He's not really a threat, and that we should let him go. So why not?
Oh, thank you, Master. Thank you, kind sirs. And he books it. I mean, the fastest you've ever seen anything in 2 legs move. So this slaughterhouse, as I said, and I'm getting echo from somebody again. I can't tell who's it.
It might be Patrick.
Is it me?
I'm not sure. Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay, let me turn down my volume.
Okay. So as I said, if it's not abandoned outright, then it's certainly not been in use for some time. It not in great shape. Looks like that the part of the roof has fallen in. The slaughter yard is overgrown with weeds. There are numerous I don't know what to call them. There's numerous structures that they used to hang the hogs and the cows from to let them bleed out in the yard, and that's where you see a couple of people. One seems to be a roughly middle-aged human. He looks hard worn, but probably somewhere in his 30s or 40s. You see another man, a human. He looks older. He looks probably in his 50s, and he's actually dressed in what appears to be armor of some sort, probably leather armor. The other man is dressed in kind of workman's clothes, and you can see that he's picking up barrels and shifting them around. From what you can tell, it's probably barrels of some kind of food, maybe salt pork or pickled beef of some sort. But it's difficult to say without actually, cracking open one of the barrels. And let's get you guys over so you can enjoy the view.
So this is an apparently abandoned slaughterhouse, yes?
Yes, and from what you can tell, people are here because there's just been refugees coming in from the outside of town, and they need someplace to stay.
Okay.
It's the only thing that would make sense for why somebody would be staying at this place.
How does it look from a construction point of view? Is it well made? Holding up in its abandonment, or
it's
just
not,
professional interest?
Yeah, it's not the most. It's not the best constructed building you've ever seen. It's okay, but it's either been neglected or abandoned for quite a while, and it's not holding up very well under the lack of maintenance.
Okay.
So as you guys enter the yard, the man who is stacking the barrels looks up and looks over at his older companion and heads over to speak with you. The older man, he's actually using a whetstone on a sword, a short sword. The sword looks like it's seen better days, even with the attention that's being given to it now. And so the man goes up to you and introduces himself, says, "Hello, my name is Hangar. What can I do for you?"
Well, there was a candle that was only visible to those with goblin blood, and it led us here.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
And then he says, "That's not a candle, that's my wife. Anyway, my name is Nickard Adler, and we're here for..." Oh, what was her name again?
Gillette.
We're looking for a woman named Gillette. We were told that she was around these parts, and we've got a message for her.
You see see the older man come up and try to listen in on you. Gillet, huh? I'm not sure there's somebody around here by that name.
Oh, that's a shame.
Is there anything else I can...
I do have a background in investigating. I have the Imperial Blade for Glitterhagen. Could I check and see if this guy is, totally lying?
Yeah, you can. Okay.
Or with the slash.
The slash and the space. Oh, it'd work even with that. Okay. So 21. No, he isn't. He isn't lying. He's not lying, but he's not telling everything he knows. Something about the way he's looking at you and the way he's looking back at the older man with the sword says that he's holding back for some reason.
It would be a shame if we couldn't find her. There was a cash reward involved, something about an inheritance. I don't know. It's just real important,
That is a fascinating sword. Could I take a closer look?
The older man looks at you and kind of starts backing away. And this is one of the few times where he's not backing away because how you look or how you speak. He's backing away for something entirely unrelated to that. He's like, no, I don't want you.
Technically a sword is just a fancy term for a wedge, which is used to separate two things, and it's interesting because everything is matter. When you get right down to it, most matter is actually energy, just forming a coherent, stabilized pattern. So this fascinating little tool, this simple instrument, is actually using to separate energy from other energy.
I don't know what you're talking about. You need to get away from me right now.
Hey, how's it going? How's the sword? This is an interesting sword. Is this a good sword?
What are the rest of you doing?
Manfred, you kind of know swords.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of the sword, Manfred? I like the sword, but I don't really know swords.
Let me look at that sword.
All right. Let's see.
And then we invaded his personal space.
You did, and so much so that he turns and runs. He looks panicked, and he runs straight for an entrance to what looks to be the basement of the building on the far right. If you want, you can stop him.
I would like to stop him.
Yeah.
All right. So how are you stopping him then? You don't need to roll for it. Just tell me how to do it.
Well, I'm using my Tavern Bouncer skill to intercept him, as I often do with drunks who are behaving inappropriately.
All right. So that's pretty much perfect. You tackle him, knock the sword away from him, and he looks up at you, and from this close looking into his eyes, there's something wrong about him.
There's something wrong with this dude.
Yeah, something is that his eyes are wide, and something is not right about the way he looks.
I call over Mr. Human and Nikud to take a look because they're the kind of woo-woo guys in the party.
I don't know about any woo-woo, but yeah, I'll take a look.
Oh, look at you. You are beautiful.
Thank you. Can I see the sword?
Mr. Human, go ahead and give me a cosmic entity check plus wisdom.
You said wisdom?
Yes.
Always the wisdom. 20 plus.
It's very rich.
Plus 4.
You recognize something familiar about him. he's not entirely living in this reality. Unlike you, that's not an actual physical state. In this case, he's not mentally living in this reality.
He's not what, sorry?
He's not mentally living in this reality. AKA he's crazy.
Okay. Part of him is outside, not here. Is it the back? No. No, it's definitely not actually here. Part of him is somewhere else. He might be better if the part that was somewhere else were back in here, because it gets uncomfortable, and sometimes the parts that are supposed to... some of it's electricity, some of it's chemical, and some of it's both, actually, which is just fascinating. But he's wrong.
Hengar, the man who introduced himself earlier, he approaches you, and he just shakes his head, and he's breathing kind of heavily, like he's worried about something. And he says, you might have screwed us all, strangers, but I can't say that I'm sorry that you did that. Look, the woman you're here looking for, she's down in the basement. I don't know what she's doing, what she wants. She came here when the trolls attacked, and my son had been hurt. She offered to heal him for us, and we couldn't say no. I mean, you have to do that sort of thing for your child. And
no, you don't.
He's been down in the basement doing odd things, occult things. I haven't looked too closely, because I didn't want... He's still got my son down there. And I thought that if I looked too closely or asked too many questions, she would do something to him. But yeah, the woman the delay, she's downstairs.
At the mention of occult things, Nikud tightened his belt and just immediately began making for the staircase with a grim determination in his eyes.
Wait. We could plan, or put out the candle so more bad guys don't show up. Because I'm pretty sure we didn't do it. Mr. Scuffy, were you on that? I thought Mr. Scuffy was going to handle that.
Oh, Mr. Scuffy's just staying right here, right beside me. But that might be actually a good idea. But I don't know. I mean, what's the glory if you don't have enough enemies?
In any case, I'm prepared for just this sort of thing. It's kind of my deal.
All right. So you guys head down into the basement.
Well, I asked. It was Hengar who was talking.
Yes.
I asked him about the layout of the basement and what we might expect to find down there that might hurt us, or specifically Nikud, who's the guy that I'm supposed to get out of here alive.
Well, it's pretty open down there. That's where they kept all the beef and the sides of pig before they sent them off. It's like a cold room, you know. And so it's pretty open. There's the hooks and chains are still down there. Most of them are rusted or fallen apart. But she had a cot in one corner. There was a well on the premises, just a little one, and a sinkhole where they washed the blood down into. And but yeah, there's not a lot down there.
Could you describe what you saw? Was it a ceremony? Were there sigils or runes? Just when you say occult stuff.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm not much for book learning, so I don't know for sure. But it's. She had some weird symbols painted on the ground, and there was a whole bunch of candles that she had, and she was speaking in some language I ain't never heard before.
Okay, this seems pretty boilerplate, but all right.
So you're going down there. You're gonna
While
take
while this conversation's going on, I'm kind of sizing Hengar up to see if he is also afflicted by whatever is wrong with the other guy.
Okay, go ahead and roll me the tavern bouncer. That's plus wisdom. That seems the most appropriate for judging someone.
Yep.
No, he seems perfectly fine. Scared out of his mind, but otherwise fine.
Excellent. Basement?
All right, into the cellar.
All right.
So, like I said, there is an external entrance to this basement. You don't have to go inside and then down. It's a narrow staircase. The air down here is very cold and smells of damp earth and something metallic that's pretty recognizable as blood. Whether it's human blood or from the animals that were slaughtered here, it's kind of difficult to say. But yeah, there's a certain smell in the air to this place.
Thugreal takes a deep breath in and is like, man, this is making me hungry. I don't know about you guys.
This is such a wonderful place.
So,
This is where everything changes and becomes something different.
So even as soon as you open the door to this basement, you can hear somebody speaking down inside. It's difficult to say what it is from the top, but as you head down these stairs, it becomes more recognizable as some sort of chanting in some sort of language that you're not really sure what it is. It's something you've never heard before. Even Mr. Human has never heard something quite like this. It's difficult to say what it could be. But you see an old woman over by what is probably the well. It's either the well or the sluice that the blood was washed down into, and she's chanting. There are symbols painted on the ground. You're not sure what it's painted in, but there are candles that are relatively well lighting the place. There are also some windows on the far side that, even despite this time of night and the weather outside, they're letting in a little bit more light. So you're not stumbling over your own feet for this.
Okay. I'd like to roll for to see. I know I don't recognize the chanting or the language, but to just sort of compare it to what I know of other occult rites to figure out the purpose, if not those details, just by comparing it to other similar rites. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Wisdom?
Intelligence, I think.
Oh, nuts. Okay.
I'm not deliberately picking the things you guys are bad at. It just happens to work out that
25 anyhow. All right.
5. Actually, as she's doing this chanting, it sounds, you know you've never heard it before, but the way she's chanting, the symbols on the ground, and the fact that she's dropping these stones into the open well, you're pretty sure she's summoning something. And whatever it is that she's summoning, very clearly is underground, but it might have something to do with like a living dungeon. It's difficult to say for sure without knowing what she's saying, but there's just something about it that seems familiar in how she's laid out the sigils and the candles and the actions that she's performing.
All right. So, what is the best way, Nikid ought to probably know, the best way to disrupt such a summoning ceremony?
You think that given how everything...
Or, is every summoning different and you just not really...
It's difficult to say for sure, but in this case, there's probably an element of sacrifice needed, which would explain why there is a young human boy nearby, near her feet. The logical conclusion would be that that he is the planned sacrifice for whatever this summoning is.
And also Hengar's son, more than likely.
Yes.
Okay.
Almost certainly, given what you know.
So can I start blowing out candles or scuffing sigils? Because that usually bothers someone.
At this point, if you're going to try to get up close to you that you can do that sort of thing, go ahead and make me stealth checks. Plus dexterity.
Dexterity.
See how quietly you can move.
Let's see how that goes. Oh well, okay. Unless someone stops me, that's.
I'm waiting for the natural one that's inevitable at this point, because there almost always is with any stealth check. Well, I'm trying to hit everybody's dump stats, so. Yeah.
Okay.
20.
I'm going to go cause trouble very quietly.
Is there anybody else who's going to do anything?
I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to try to follow Mr. Human, because it seems like he's getting closer to the action. That's where I want to be.
All right, you go ahead and roll me a stealth check as well.
Just make sure not to make her bleed inside the thing.
$19.
19. All right, you're pretty stealthy as well. So you guys are gonna, or at least Mr. Human is going to start scuffing things out, and scuffing symbols and blowing out candles and that sort of thing.
I'm just causing minor little disruptions that, if anything is, high maintenance and perfectionist, will cause it to not work or not work in some more interesting fashion.
Okay. So, the moment you step on one of those sigils, her head spins around like you've shocked her with a taser.
Hello.
And she looks utterly flabbergasted at seeing you, and we've lost weight. And her mouth actually flops open, like a fish, at seeing you. You've caught her completely unawares. She dives for her. She pulls her knife and dives for the boy at her feet. Now, everybody go ahead and roll me initiative.
We can't have that. That's no good.
No. So let me show you where you guys are at. If you'll just scroll down a little bit.
That's my initiative, by the way.
And mine.
Let me move you guys down there.
I got a 20 total.
Nice.
Alright, I'll start entering it here in just a sec. So you guys are closer. Welcome back, Wade.
Hey.
The rest of you are back a little bit. Eva's just staying behind to keep an eye on Hengar at the moment, just to make sure nothing happens up there. Alright. Now let me get you guys added to turn over. Mr. Human and Thegria, you notice that the boy, he looks feverish and out of it. He looks sick, pale and sweating. Alright, so 17. Go ahead and, if you weren't here, go ahead and roll initiative, Wade. Thegria was 12. What was your initiative again, Patrick?
Oh, mine was 20.
Oh, I don't think I need to add to Mr. Scuffy to the initiative roll.
Nah.
Evesh has been set to watch from above, watch our backs up on ground level.
Make sure nobody gets away.
Yeah. Or nobody gets in behind us.
Yes, that too.
22.
Man. Okay. Okay, let's see. I always think this is 5. Okay. All right. So the first thing you guys notice is that when you get closer to her, as soon as you stuff those sigils, she was no longer an old human woman. She is actually a tiefling and considerably younger than she appeared before.
Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Or demon-blooded, however you want to put that. And so you guys, you've got the drop on her. So this is in the surprise round. Manfred can go, and one more of you can make an action. And then we'll be into regular initiative.
All right. Sorry, you're just getting the lay of the land here. All right. Well, I'm going to spring into action, and so we have a tiefling, and we have a sickly-looking boy.
Yes.
Choice of targets. It's very difficult.
It is.
But I'm going to draw my sword, and charge at the tiefling.
Okay.
Bellowing a war cry.
If you hit her, you can knock her dagger away instead of doing damage.
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your attack. Escalation die is
resort to violence, and okay.
Escalation die is a frowny face.
All right. Need to bring the chat up here. Oh, well, that's no good. 11.
All right. So you don't hit her. Make me a saving throw. Let's see if this.
Okay.
Just a straight up.
Oh, yeah, I totally saved that.
All right. So you go to hit her. You go to swing your sword and hit her the dagger out of her hand.
Yes.
You end up barreling into her and knocking her away from the boy. So she's still got her dagger, but you've kind of accidentally shoulder charged her like a linebacker.
Awesome.
Yeah, accidentally. That's how he's going to tell the story later.
Yes. It was entirely on purpose, or so he'll tell you after you buy him drinks later.
Here's my plan. Also, any natural odd roll, I'm carving an opening.
Okay. All right, so one more of you gets to act before we go into a typical initiative.
My suggestion was Thugriel because he can get the child to safety. But if people think the child is safe, then someone else could do something.
The child can never be too safe.
So we can either leave the child as is, or I can run in, grab the child, and use high blood teleport.
Is that what you'd like to do?
I would like to do that.
All right, go ahead and move yourself wherever you'd like to teleport him to, and I will move the boy over there.
Don't put him on a hook.
Yeah.
Aww.
Be a bad thing. Don't teleport. Don't teleport into a hook either. That would also be bad.
We're gonna go way back in the corner here because that seems like the best.
Okay. So you grab him and teleport away. And with that, we are in an initiative order. And having done that, you notice that you hear some kind of odd, wet sort of sound from the ceiling above you. All of you, actually, will notice this. And you look up, and you can see that these are the about cat-sized balls of black slime.
Oh, hello.
And they're probably not friendly. Let's just put it that way. So, but that being the case, top of round 2, escalation die is at 1. I'll move the escalation die over there. And it is our friend Tiefling's turn. She is engaged with Manfred at the moment. And she looks at you with hate in her eyes and spits out more words that you've never heard before, but you can feel the words kind of almost slapping against your brain, your consciousness. It's affecting you on some kind of mental level. So this is going to be versus mental defense.
All right.
I think that's probably going to miss.
Yes, it does.
All right. So
any miss damage?
No miss damage on that. So the words attack your sense of self. Your something about you rises to the occasion, and you just shake it off, almost literally shake it off.
I'm largely oblivious, so that's probably helped.
It probably felt like just a brief headache from after your last hangover.
Yeah.
Just, nah, I don't need that right now. All right, and with that being the case, her turn is done, and Manfred, you are up.
All right. I'm going to attack. Attack, attack, attack.
Ed says that his laptop is overheated, but he can't get it to restart at all.
Oh, no.
So he's not sure if he's going to be able to make it back.
Mm.
That's too bad.
Oh, and the escalation die is at 1?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Oh! Hey, how's that grab you?
I don't know. I'm still on a page.
Oh.
That's a crit, so
26.
go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah.
That's how you get it started.
26.
All right, 26 damage. I can math.
Math is good.
Math is hard. Okay. Anything else for Manfred?
That is it for Manfred.
Okay.
For this round.
Mr. Human, you're up.
Well, that kind of attack upon his soul isn't going to work well at all. You have to talk about his father. And I will attack with Battle Chant, attempting to counter her fundamental disruption of reality with a focused burst of my own that creates negative resonant feedback, apparently effectively.
You did. Roll your damage for the negative feedback.
But not that effectively.
Not that effectively. Still, it is enough to leave her staggered.
And that is it for me, except with... sorry, one quick thing. Does anyone need... Does anyone... No, everyone is all good on recoveries, right? Because I do have the ability to give people a recovery on a roll that good. Or let people spend a recovery.
I mean,
okay.
it looked like Thugriel was down, but her bar was just not updated.
We're all good, I do believe. Just
making sure. In that case, yes, I've kind of repositioned a little bit, and I'm good.
Okay. Nakuda, you're up.
All right. Nikud will start by just pacing out a sloping curve from like the corner where the stairs came down to over near where Mr. Human is, and just like shuffling and kicking over candles on the way. But for a standard action, he will be casting. Oh, this is only a quick, so awesome. As a quick action, he will be Blessing Manfred. That spell is one nearby ally gains +2 attack bonus until the end of the battle.
Hot damn.
Okay.
Because I'm casting it for power rather than casting for broad effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So +2 just for Manfred. And now as a standard action, he'll be casting his at-will attack spell, Javelin of Faith.
Okay.
It's a 23 against mental.
That'll hit.
All right. 9 damage, and that's his first round. That's Nikud's turn.
Okay. All right, Thugrill, you're up.
All right. Well, I tell Mikhail to just stay back and try not to get himself killed, and then I rush in to Jayla, whatever, and I am going to make an attack on her, kicking candles over, also on my way over. 19 against AC.
19 against AC will miss. You just barely, she just barely scrambles out of the way of your sword, and you leave a very thin welt on her arm from where your sword brushed it.
I curse in Elvish and partially blame Mr. Scuffy for missing.
Poor Mr. Scuffy. He's
Hey.
always
Don't blame me.
Alright, with a really unpleasant wet sound, the slimes drop from the ceiling. It looks like they're very literally trying to drop on top of your heads.
That's what I'd do if I were a slime.
And if they hit you, they very well probably did drop right on your head. And let's see, who gets the extra? Thugrill, you get the extra. All right. So it's going to be one attack against all of you except for Thugrill, who's getting 2.
Dislike.
All right. So let's start with Thugrill first. This is going to be versus AC. 17 and 8 versus AC. I'm
Both
sorry,
hit.
21.
Or I'm sorry, the one hit.
All right, so you will take 3 acid damage. Now against Manfred. 12 versus AC, I'm pretty sure we'll miss.
Nope.
Against Mr. Human. 19 versus AC.
That's a hit.
All right, 3 acid damage for you as well. And lastly, against Nikud, 21 versus AC.
Yep. 3 damage, you said?
3 more damage, yep.
Okay.
All right, and with that, top of round 3, escalation die is at 2. And it is Jale's turn. She is going to try to, let's see. She's going to try to stab Manfred with her knife. It's going to be versus AC.
All right.
26 versus AC.
That is a hit.
All right, you'll take 13 damage, sir.
All right.
And then it is. All right, and she makes a sweeping gesture, and all of a sudden she's engulfed in a blue flame. It doesn't seem to be burning her, but it will likely burn you should you stay engaged.
I'm calling BS on that. I know I don't have any real grounds to object, but nevertheless, this seems improbable.
If you pull a Phoenix right, I'll give you a +1 on your next roll.
If I do a what?
If you pull a Phoenix right, I'll give you a +1 on your next roll.
I object.
Deal. +1 on your next roll.
All right.
All right, Manfred, you're up.
All right.
And you will take 7 damage for being engaged. Sorry.
Man, what?
You burn. You're getting a little toasty.
Yeah. All right. Let's attack. Attack. The escalation die is at 2.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Oh, and I got a +1. There we go. 27.
27 will hit. Rather convincingly so at that.
Excellent. Also, now that I've made a natural even roll, I can. Let's see.
Oh, come on, Chrome. Don't do this to me.
All right. I'm going to roll damage. So with Deadly Assault, which lets me re-roll any ones, I mean, do I have to declare that before I roll damage, or?
No. It's as soon as you've got the maneuver.
Okay, cool. It's moot anyway. So 14 damage.
Ah, yes. All right. Describe how she dies.
What? Oh, well. She's slashing at me with her dagger. She set me on fire, and gritting my teeth, I plunge through the flames and impale her with my sword, which I drive into the brick wall behind her.
All right. And with that,
And now we can interrogate her.
she looks up at you. Blood is pouring out of her mouth, and she smiles and she says, "There is always sacrifice." And then she slumps over.
She wasn't in the thing, was she?
What did Mr. say? Come on.
And then the ground starts to shake and rumble.
I am so disappointed in all of you.
And with that, we'll take a short break so everybody can go get something to drink, go to the restroom, do whatever you need to do. Freshen up your dice, whatever it is you need to do. So it'll just take a couple minutes, and be back here, and we'll get started again.
Great, be right back.
I will be right back myself.
Wade's Break Time is sponsored by Trader Joe's Crunchy Curls, the healthy lentil snack.
Oh, also, I should show people. This is the hat. This is the shirt my awesome wife, Karen, got for me.
Nice.
I approve.
The dice have been kind today. So
most of the dice are trying to kill Wade.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
These, I'm actually a little bit unnerved. I think the dice are saving their sub-5 rolls for when I need them more.
They're saving it for the grand finale.
Yeah.
They're special dice. They're your dice of friendship, so they naturally have that buff to them.
Indeed. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Okay. Let's check up on Q&A, see if anybody's asked anything. Rydell, I can't say for sure, but chances are no, it will not be made available, at least not online immediately.
That's too bad.
Wade, I think Wade will have a better answer for you, but to my knowledge, it will not be immediately made available to online, since it's part of an initiative to get people out to their local game store. That's not to say that it might not ever be made available online, but as of right now, to my knowledge, it won't be.
You answering questions from the stream?
Yeah, the Q&A app. People have. There hasn't been a lot of questions, but there have been some that have come up.
Is that's just the thing on the left side?
The right side. Yeah, there's a Q&A on the left side. If you open it up, you'll see that there's on the right. There's a place where people can submit questions. There's nothing in there right now because I've gotten I've answered all of them or deleted the spam ones.
Oh, okay.
But that's where people can answer questions or ask questions to be answered.
Neat.
And I figured since we were on break anyway, now's a good time as any to look there and see if there's any to get answered.
Oh, great. Cool.
Most weeks, it's usually just spam. But this week, there's actually been people asking questions. So if anybody else that's watching, if you have a question, feel free. There should be in the link that's been provided a space that you can ask questions, and we'll try and answer them if there's something that we can answer. So that would mean don't ask Patrick all about Inquisition. But as soon as everybody's back, we will continue. How are you guys liking the adventure so far?
This is fun.
This is pretty cool, yeah.
I like it. I like the setup.
It's a really well done adventure. I've really liked working with it.
The thing that I like a lot about just 13th Age stuff in general is that we didn't determine Diabolist versus Lich King versus Orc Lord until this started, and this still feels like something that is definitively a demon-related adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you guys had a set of relationships with some of those evil icons, I probably would have rolled with that to start. But since none of you had those, I was like, I'll wait and find out at game time instead of deciding ahead of time. The Emperor, the positive relationship icon, I wanted to know ahead of time, just so you guys could kind of work with it if you wanted to. Plus, it let me set things up like with the chest and everything a bit ahead of time. But yeah, it's really well designed so that no matter who you choose as your patron or the enemy, it's going to feel very unique. Because all the patron icons have a different treasure that you're involved with. All of the enemies have different special things that they give out to the different trolls. Part of me was hoping for the Lich King, because the description given for undead trolls is that they say that Harrowdale is awash in kind of like shed skin from trolls that are rotting and regenerating on a constant basis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like that at all.
I don't know. You could probably make some jerky out of it.
Imagine being like the FDA or like the restaurant inspector in this town, if that's what's going on.
The cooks were almost pretty much dead from. So.
I would not want to be a public health worker.
Even if you cook everything all the way and keep everything clean, everything's probably going to taste like troll. for at least a while after that.
I think somebody should write an alternate version of this adventure where you are public health inspectors in this town. And,
Yeah.
you get to see the adventure from their perspective. How does this affect them?
Job security.
Yeah, a lot of job security.
And job turnover, because nobody wants the job, no matter how long.
All right, so everybody's back. And where we left off.
Aaron, have we gotten any more questions?
We had one while you were gone. Actually, it might be a question whether this was eventually going to be made online. The adventure. I said that, to my knowledge, it was not. At least not right away, because it's part of an initiative to get people to go to their game stores.
And I hope people took advantage of that today. I wish I could have, but I had other things happen.
I'm probably after we finish here. I'm probably going to my local game store. So,
I stopped by mine before we played. Yeah, but yes, for Free RPG Day, if you participate in the program, part of the agreement is that you won't distribute it anywhere else for a set period of time. Pelgrane has not said for sure whether or not they're going to release this on PDF, but it's definitely a possibility. Just not right away.
Now, this is a prequel adventure to an upcoming commercial release, right?
It is. It's a prequel to Rise of the Stone Thief, which we'll get into in just a second.
Okay.
The other question we've got is that Grant Chip wants to know if we're going to give you back.
Oh, yeah, one of these days. No, today's Saturday. 2 days from now. Come on. We've got a date. You know that. Monday.
Now you know, Chip. We'll give them back eventually. All right, with that being said, let us continue onward. When we last left off, the ground was rumbling. It's an earthquake, or at least it feels like an earthquake of a rather significant magnitude. And then it gets worse, as in the well and the sluice where the blood was washed down, they just kind of collapsed onto the floor. And that sinkhole is the chasm, the sinkhole that's being created from it, are gradually getting bigger. This whole building is going to be swallowed up less than 30 seconds.
That ruins my plan.
It was a great plan, too.
No, over a few turns, I was hoping to, like, with my shuffly steps, inscribe a golden spiral onto the point of summoning, and be like, no, this is overwritten, and it would have been cool. Oh well.
You look down into this sinkhole, and you see that this is it's not 20 feet deep, it's not 30 feet deep. This thing is hundreds of feet deep. And at the bottom, very faintly, you can see some sort of corridor, perhaps, some sort of hallway, as though you were looking at it from the top. Nikud, you rolled earlier to see what this might have, the summoning ritual might have been.
Yeah.
This is what it was summoning. It was summoning a living dungeon. And the living dungeon is now starting to swallow, at the very least, the building you're in. And there's a very good chance that it's not going to stop there.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to beat feet. Unless we want to delve the dungeon immediately, I think we'd be better off trying to save ourselves and then hopefully divert it, because this town has had enough. Also, we have a big, important box to rescue.
That's true. Right. That is our primary mission, is to get the box out of here. Also, there's no way down into the dungeon except falling hundreds of feet, correct?
So there's one way, is what you're saying.
Well, yes.
Well, if I hadn't have used my high blood teleport, I could have done it.
Even your teleport probably would not be enough to get you all the way down safely. Not by itself, anyway. Either way, the sinkhole and the chasm is getting bigger, and you are pretty much at ground zero.
Run away!
So I assume you run away. I assume one of you grabs the boy.
Grab the boy.
I'll
Not-
grab the boy up under,
Not
get him
in
in
a
a football
position
hole.
to-
I will continue to grab the boy.
You will all grab the boy. Roll to see how many pieces you pull him apart into. Let's see. He's in. No, he's still in one piece. The dice have spoken. He still lives. All right.
Is that the dismemberment table from 13 True Ways?
It very well might be.
Awesome.
Or it might be from Rollmaster. All right. So anyway, you guys get out of this place. You head up the stairs. You hand Mikkel over to Hangar and survey what's going on. And basically, you may be at ground zero of this dungeon erupting into the world, but it's not the only place that stuff is happening. You see a couple hundred yards away, you see a building suddenly list over, and half of it collapsed into a hole that wasn't there before. There are cracks and chasms opening up in the ground all over the place. Some of them pretty small, a foot deep, a few feet long. Some of them considerably deeper or wider, or both. And at this point, as if it weren't enough, you hear the alarms from the walls that the trolls have started another attack.
Of course they did. Oh, no, you...
So, the defenders, the villagers, everybody at this point, they've all but broken. Between the attacking trolls and the fact the town is being seemingly sucked into the ground, they need you to, in some way, shape, or form, rally them, get them back together, and prepare to fight, not so much at this point to save Harrowdale as to be able to escape and save as many people as possible, including yourselves at this point. So let's start with Nikud. What is Nikud doing to help salvage this situation, help the defenders?
Well, again, in a town such as this, there remains only one real civic institution that can rally the people. Somebody's got to ring that church bell.
All right.
So, do you want to roll for that?
Yes, roll for that.
Like, to get there speedily, I suppose?
Yes, to get there without like rolling your ankle in one of the holes that are opening up.
With great haste.
Yes, exactly. So go ahead and roll plus strength or plus dexterity, plus whatever background you
Okay, so that's going to be a total bonus of 8. All right, that's 24, actually.
24. All right, you nimbly make your way across the courtyard where the church bell is, and despite the fact that the foundation of the church is not at this point terribly steady, and the bell tower is leaning, you're able to get to the top and start ringing that bell for all it's worth. And it's serving as kind of a signal for the villagers to congregate in the courtyard. That's where they'll be safe, or at least safer than elsewhere in town. So,
okay.
All right, that's good. What about Mr. Human? What is Mr. Human doing?
Well, I'm not sure the reverberations from the church bell are going to do much to stop the living dungeon. While I consider whether there's anything I know that could affect a dungeon, on the off chance, as we run outside, is the candle that only I can see burning still burning?
Yes, it is still burning.
I'm not sure if that's luring it or just a way that the goblins were supposed to get there, but on the off chance, I'm going to grab the candle and get to the walls, and I would like to use Balladeer, which I'd been doing for the past few days, to increase people's, basically build morale, and also subtly try to reinforce the nature of reality ever so slightly, reminding people that the Emperor is sending forces and troops, and the Diabolist is really just an ineffectual dabbler who can only barely claw at the nature of reality.
Okay. Go ahead and roll plus charisma.
All right, let's see. I'll be using the dice Ritzy gave me. Oh, good. Okay. It's charisma plus level, right?
Yes.
Oh wait. Int in my case because myth thingy. No.
Oh yeah.
Lore thingy. 21.
21 is enough. Despite your rather off-putting manner in which you try to reassure them, you people kind of go, well, yeah, he's right, and we've kept him out so far. Everything's been going okay. We'll come out of this okay somehow. Can you not look over here at this, please? Thank you.
Can I? Should I roll for relationship dice with the Emperor?
No, you don't have to. You could have just used that if you wanted to.
Oh no. I mean, that's the when I do that, it gives me relationship dice, or it gives me dice I can roll with, I guess.
Okay. I'll look at her quick.
Let's see.
Balladeer, you said?
Oh, sorry. And it doesn't matter. They didn't come up anything.
Okay. Okay. What about Thugreal? What is Thugreal doing to help rally the defenders and keep things from falling apart completely?
He reminds people of the good ale that they've been partaking of, and to make sure that they all grab a pint as they're making their way out, and he's going straight up to the wall to assess the situation and see how he can take out these trolls.
Okay. Go and roll your roll your Nomad Barbarian. Plus charisma.
Let's see, Cha 0, 16, and 5 is 21.
21. In spite of everything, or maybe because everything is falling apart, everybody really likes the idea of having a nice cold drink. Maybe it's just so they can get so insensate, drunk, that they don't have to acknowledge what's going on. But whatever it happens to be, yeah, they're starting to feel a little bit better about what's going on, especially as they see you run off to take care of the trolls that are now attacking. And lastly, what is Manfred doing?
Well, I'm going to build on top of that success. As the fourth son of a minor backwater noble family, in addition to fighting and farm wisdom, I know how to rally people and make them feel that things are under control and that they have something important to do and that Harrowdale needs them. So I'm going to basically make the St. Swithin's Day speech here, or St. Crispin's Day speech, using my background as a fourth son of a minor noble family.
Okay, that works.
Charisma?
Yes.
21.
21 is enough. So, with notwithstanding your speech making skills, but the fact that everybody's now nicely lubricated from the beer,
exactly,
makes them take it a little bit better.
It helps when your soldiers are drunk.
Yes. All right. So, with the defenders, the villagers, the garrison, they're sufficiently rallied that you think you can probably hold out here against the siege until the Imperial legions come, which they're supposed to in a matter of possibly even hours. However,
they are not going to like what they find.
No, they're not. You broke the town.
We have the chest.
A call of more insistent alarm comes from one of the walls, and you can see that whether it's through the action of the trolls or from the action of the living dungeon, one of the walls has collapsed in space, and there are cries coming out from the defenders that Marrowbreath himself is making his way into the town, and by coincidence, or possibly even deliberately, he's heading for where you've stashed away the steel chest, the treasure that's the Emperor has told you to guard. And you make your way over to that part of town. You run as fast as you can. It's not a huge town, so it doesn't take you very long. And you find Marrowbreath himself coming up the street across the courtyard.
Well, look what we have here.
I say we kick his ass.
Agreed.
And he
Where
has
the chest was.
a rather small troll alongside with him, but even a small troll is not something to be taken lightly.
Okay. Is anybody in this fight undead?
No, they're not.
Okay, we totally should have went Lich King.
No.
Let me just scratch out this thing on my character sheet. Turn troll. Yeah, okay. Turn troll. I've got that.
If they'd either been that, or if you failed to rally the defenders, that would be more useful. All right. So you see that Marrowbreath, in addition to being a exceptionally large troll himself, it looks like he's got the same sort of demonic mutations, alterations that some of the trolls did when you fought them on the walls earlier. He's definitely got the claws that are more than knives, and he's also got a pair of wings as well. And with that, everybody go ahead and roll me initiative.
Oh, that's no good.
14.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, bloody hell.
20 total.
Okay. Just
16.
okay. I'm sorry about that. Wade was 16. Thugreal
14.
14. And what was Mr. Human again?
I was 20. Also, did we get anything like a quick rest between the fights, or were we pretty much in activity the whole time?
You pretty much got a quick rest. Yes.
Okay.
Not all at the same time, but like while Niku was running up to the tower, you got a chance to catch your breath. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm going to roll and see if I got my Song of Heroes back.
Okay, go ahead.
14, so I believe that recharged.
Yes, it does. All right, so top of round 1, the escalation die is once again at Frowny Face. Frowny Face.
We'll make you happy.
Marrowbreath leaps up into the sky, flaps his wings, can't quite get all the way over to you.
Continues to be a buster.
Oh, goodness, he flies.
Yes. Yes, he does. The ground is still shaking, but at least right here, right now, there are no new holes that are opening up. And that is the end of his turn. Mr. Human, you are up.
Mr. Scuffy, do you think he's flying by actually magically augmenting those tiny wings, or do you think he's actually altering the laws of gravity so that he's lighter? Okay, Mr. Scuffy, we can talk about it later. I am going to I move forward a little bit just to make sure that I've got a decent bead on him. And is that about reasonable for a move action?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And, well, he's altering the laws of reality, and I'm not big on that when it's not me. So let us attempt to mess with him a little bit back. This is against mental defense, which probably doesn't matter.
I'm afraid not. No, an 8. An 8 is insufficient.
And that's it for me.
All right. Manfred, you are up. You may want to retroactively roll the recovery.
Oh, yeah, I probably do.
Yes.
That would be a great idea.
You need the strong recovery feat. You roll really badly.
Yeah. All right, I'm good.
All right.
Oh, I entirely
So
forgot.
retcon in hand. It is your turn.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, I'm going to close with him, and I can engage him in melee, yes?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm going to do a thing. It's going to be great. 6. Hey now.
Well, that actually was
24 versus AC.
24 will hit.
Woo!
Don't roll your damage, sir.
Oh, will a 23 hit?
Yes. 23 will hit.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use my surprising racial ability to make that a natural odd roll and carve an opening.
Okay. So your crit range is now 19.
It is 19. I'm going to hard castle it.
All right. Anything else from Manfred?
I'm going to do some damage.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that didn't work. 2 equals 4.
Roll a save versus computer.
12.
Total damage. All right. Okay. Thugriel, you're up.
Alright, Thugriel is really excited for this battle, and he just knows this is going to be a good one, it's going to be for glory, and his adrenaline's going, and so I'm going to go ahead and, as a free action, activate my Barbarian Rage, which means I'm rolling 2 d20s. If both are 11 plus, that means I crit.
Which would be very good with that magic weapon.
And I'm just going to go right in on this guy and start swinging my sword, so... And escalation size at 0.
Mm-hmm.
And I crit on him.
Boy, do you. Alright, go ahead and roll your damage.
So I'm doing 28.
28. Nice. He is actually staggered.
Oh, does that mean no? You'd already have to be staggered for me to activate Slayer. Never mind.
And because you crit, if you hit it all next turn, you will do crit damage.
Excellent.
Okay. Alright, that being said, Nakuda, you're up.
All right. I can't really get to the second troll yet. I'm sure the troll will be happy to change that. So I'm going to join in ganging up on the first troll, Marrow Breath.
Mm-hmm.
And so just from hanging back here, another Javelin of Faith. So that's 14 versus mental.
That will actually miss.
Oh, right. Had to sometime. So on a miss, I don't believe that does anything.
I think actually Jab on the Faith does miss damage.
Does it? Okay, well then 2 miss damage then. Yeah.
I think it does.
Okay.
We will for the moment assume it does, and we will look up the rule later if we even care. Okay. Anything else from Nikud?
Let's see. Hit or miss. I'm going to use my domain of leadership. So everybody gets a +1 against Marrow Breath until the end of my next turn, because that works on a miss as well. So, and I have the feat that lets it work for ranged attacks. So,
okay.
Get a bonus +1 from the domain of leadership against Marrow Breath. That's my turn.
Alrighty. The kind of runty troll heads up and is going to attack Thegriel. These are going to both be versus AC, 2 attacks. But I think they were both miss, a 9 and a 13.
Both are a miss.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Top of round 2, the escalation die is at 1. And the ground, it's shaking considerably more violently now, to the point where more holes are opening up. Buildings are starting to, or at least parts of buildings are starting to fall apart. And this is going to, let's see, which one of you is it going to affect? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, your vote apparently is the deciding one, Patrick, because that's exactly what happens. So a chunk of the building that Marrow Breath is right next to falls off, and very nearly falls on Marrow Breath. Let's see if it actually hits it now.
Does the building have a +1?
No, unfortunately, the building does not. However,
Nikud is good at buildings. He's very good at building.
It might as well have had a +1 though, because it does hit for 10 damage. So one of the beams, the cornerstone foundation beams, falls out of the building and right onto Marrow Breath's head. Unfortunately, since he is a troll, the dent it just put in his skull goes away immediately. And then he's actually going to attack Thugriel twice, because he is by far the most dangerous of the two between you and Manfred. So
Thugriel and Mr. Scuffy.
Yes, but he acknowledges Thugriel. Mr. Scuffy hasn't done enough damage yet. Yet being the operative term. So these are both versus AC. 15 and 16 versus AC.
My AC is at 16, so.
Okay, so you'll get hit once for 15 damage. And if at any point you guys get staggered, let me know. In the meantime, it is Mr. Human's turn.
Now, the interesting thing about people who allow themselves to be affected by demonic energy is that if you tune the frequency just right, you can actually cause a mental reverberation that can cause them to see enemies in their friends. So I have just cast Befuddle on the Runty Troll.
Okay. And what will that do exactly?
Well, confused until the end of my next turn. So that means you should make a basic attack on Marrow Breath.
Yes. Okay. Anything else from Mr. Human?
No, I'm good.
Manfred, you are up. Manfred is muted. Or at least he was.
Manfred is no longer muted.
He's the strong silent type.
All right, the escalation die is at 2.
It is at 1.
It is at 1. Hmm. Okay. All right. So that didn't work.
No, that didn't.
Let me see if I can do anything cool, though.
All right.
Natural. No. Yeah, not so much.
Not so much. All right. Anything else for Manfred?
Well, no, hold on. Yes, Patrick is correct. Mr. Human has shouted across the battlefield that even though I missed, I can still carve an opening, so I'm going to do that.
Just carve a slice off that haunch for later.
Yeah, exactly. So I do 2 points miss damage, and my crit range is now 18.
All right.
Thank you, Patrick.
Speaking of crit ranges, I believe it's Thugreel's turn.
It is indeed the Thugreel's turn.
So angry.
Is
Well-
Thugreel going to bring the pain?
Thugreal hopes to bring the pain.
The chances are good, yes.
Mr. Human is just bringing the noise and the funk.
Mr. Human is here for our support. And wow, I think both of those actually miss.
What's your total? Does a 17 hit? I know. Does it? Yeah, that's a 17. That will actually hit, believe it or not.
Oh, it will. So if it hits, then I actually crit.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and roll your badge.
And staggered? I can't remember.
He is staggered, yes.
Then I get to do my bonus as well.
He wasn't, and then he is again. So 32 plus 10. 42. All right. Marrow Breath is, at the moment, down. He's not staying that way.
Oh dear.
Good job, Mr. Scuffy. Way to be moral sport.
You're pretty sure that Marrow Breath is not going to stay down for long. All right. With that being the case, anything else from Thugreal?
I think I'm pretty good right where I am. I'm right in the heart of action, able to hit things.
Okay. Nakuda, you're up.
Okay, one question. Is anyone feeling the need for healing or shielding in particular? Or other cleric duties?
I'm at 21 health, but I think I should be still okay right now.
Okay. Actually, what Nikud is going to do? He's going to come around the corner here. Just very sad that these buildings are crumbling, but I mean they're rather poor compared to the glory that is Cathedral. So what can you expect? And it's time to use Spirits of the Righteous again. So, and coming around the corner, he sees, for this first time in this fight, the second troll.
Mm-hmm.
So, the 12 against mental defense, that's probably not going to cut it.
Believe it or not, that does hit.
Oh, 13 with the escalation die. So, all right. Great. This guy's a moron. Perfect.
Yeah, the trolls are not known for their mental fortitude in any significant manner.
So... Let's roll 40. Double check. Yeah. So that's 19 holy damage against the against Troll Runt 2.
Okay. He
So
is
an image of a stone archway just like blasts from Nikud's Draftsman's Handbook. And it just sort of clotheslines the troll runt as it envelops Thugreal, who I believe has the lowest HP at the moment, and therefore gets that +4 AC bonus for until the end of my next turn.
Yeah, he is definitely the lowest.
Yes. All right, and yep, that's that.
All
See you
right.
next round.
All right, it's the troll runt. He is admittedly confused. However, Marrow Breath is on the ground bleeding, so it's pretty easy to see that he's going to attack Thugreal. Again, versus AC. Let's see, well, if I type things in right. The 1 will definitely miss. The 24, I think, will probably hit.
It will, because my AC is at 20 with the buff.
Alright, so you will take 7 damage from that?
And I'm staggered.
Okay. Unfortunately, Marrow Breath is not up enough to take advantage of that. Oh well. Anyway, top of round 3, escalation die is at 2. At least it will be. There we go. And the destruction of Harrowdale continues as most of the building you're sheltering behind is sucked into a sinkhole. It's not actively dangerous where you're at right now, but it's only going to get bigger. So, with that being said, Marrow Breath pulls himself upright, and no, that would be cruel. You can actually, Ritzy, or you can try. In the meantime, Marrow Breath is going to attack both Manfred and Thugreal. First against Manfred versus AC. 17. Does a 17 hit you, Wade? And you're muted.
Sorry. That is a great question. Versus AC?
Yes.
17 does not hit me.
Okay. And then against Thugreal, 16 will miss.
Yes.
All right. So Marrow Breath is pretty spectacularly ineffective so far. And Mr. Human, you are now up. You are next to a brand new renovation in the Harrowdale Central District.
Well, that is lovely. You could look all the way down and see how it actually breaks the dimensional barriers, which is technically how the living dungeons work in many cases. It's unrealistic to think that they just literally are just below the earth there. Anyway, hello, escalation die, even. You're my new friend. Moving slightly away, and I am unloading my color spray, attacking the minds of the 2 trolls, or at least, let's see, D4.
What mind do they have, actually?
Yes. Okay, yes, I am attacking both of them. Also, waves of mystical energy, helpfully in all of your brains, giving you a tiny microsecond glimpse into the future to allow you to strike more effectively. Song of Heroes is active.
Okay.
And I got, let's see, it's over 20 against mental defense for each of them.
That'll hit.
Okay, so against Troll Runt, I do 9. Against Marrow Breath, I do 6. And if either of them are at less than 10 health, then the ones who are at less than 10 health after that damage is applied are weakened until the end of my next turn.
Marrow Breath himself is weakened. Let's see. Okay. And Troll Runt is staggered. And Marrow Breath.
Then with that, I'm done. So everyone remember +1 from Song of Heroes?
Thank you.
And with that, Manfred, you're up.
All right. So adding the +1.
Not with a 1. Not with a 1.
No. I am continuing to carve an opening, however.
You're what, at 17 now?
I am at 17.
Assuming the fight goes that long.
Damn it. Okay.
All right. Anything else from Manfred?
No. Yeah. I'm going to try to remember to use a power attack next round.
Wait a minute. The priestess gave me a vision of this round.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look it up in your book, it's under Domain of Lore, the Invocation of Lore.
Really?
Yeah. Feel free to re-roll that with a +2 bonus, thanks to my vision of the future. You didn't attack from the left. No, I saw you attack from the right.
Your ideas intrigue me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter. Well?
Oh, nuts.
Not so much.
I didn't say it worked better from the right. I just want to get the continuity correct.
It did work better. I will give you that. It worked quite a bit better. All right. Manfred's done.
You're up. We'll go into trolls later. I could really talk about trolls.
Right, so it's me now, right?
Yes.
Are either of them staggered? It's kind of hard to tell on the...
Yes, they are both staggered.
Alright, I am going after Marrowbreath again, and I am going to attempt to kick him into that hole.
Alright, in that case, you're not going to make an attack, you're going to make a skill check.
I'm going to add my nomadic barbaric clan to that.
And
strength?
Add the escalation die as well.
Okay.
It's not going to be easy, but it's possible.
So that. It's background. The die is at 2. 22.
Marrowbreath takes a dive. He doesn't scream all the way down, but you hear a splat, very faint, all the way down at the bottom. And while being a troll, Marrowbreath may survive.
That was I counted seconds. That was like 12 Sanacora. I mean, there's no such thing as Mississippi in the Dragon Empire.
But whether he's alive or not, and it's difficult to tell given how far down he is, he's definitely not any more of a threat in this fight.
Good job, Mr. Scuffy. Good job.
Alright, anything else from Thugriel?
I'm gonna back up here by Nikud and hope that maybe he will give me a little bit of heals.
Okay.
Alright, Nikud, you're up.
Okay, since Thugriel asked nicely for the first time in his life, gosh, just use one use of the heal spell, so just spend a recovery on my turn as quick action, and as a standard action, going to, you know, somebody's got to go toe-to-toe with this thing. It might as well be me, sure. Move action, engage, and as a standard action, it's time to smack it. Why doesn't that actually roll?
I don't know. It looks like it should.
Okay, I'll add in the escalation die plus the Song of Heroes bonus. That's actually +9. And it's a critical failure in any case.
It is. You guys are breaking all the natural ones in this. I really wish I do what I normally do on a natural one. It's something I took from Dungeon World, and that if you fail with a natural one, I give you a hard choice.
Okay.
Most of the time, that is, you can either have your weapon break or be thrown away, or
oh no, I like my weapon. It's brand new.
The other option is usually you can smack one of your friends in the back of the head for however many damage you are about to do to the monster. It is incredibly entertaining. It never stops being funny on my end.
Does anyone want to take one for the team?
But I'm not doing that here.
Okay.
That's how I typically do it, however.
Okay.
Because it makes those natural ones just so much more fun. All right, so natural one you miss. Your
2 miss damage, and once again for the domain of leadership, people get another bonus 1 against the troll runt here.
All right. Troll runt's turn. He never actually saved against confusion. However, Maribel's kind of gone. So he's going to attack Nakud because you're right there. He's going to attack you twice. And these are versus AC.
Okay. AC's
14 and 21.
1 hits.
All right, you will take 7 damage from that.
All right.
All right, top of the next round. The escalation die is at 3. Actually, you know, at this point, I don't think it really matters. You guys can finish off this troll with relative ease. It may take you a little bit longer than you'd like, given the way you're rolling at this point. But this troll is not against 4 of you. The troll is not a threat, especially with the added incentive to kill it and get out. That's the fact that the pit is getting bigger.
Oh dear.
At this point, it's very clear that Harrowdale will not be here. Not just tomorrow, not just tonight, but Harrowdale will not be here in about an hour or 2 at all.
Is the crate still here? Has it gotten precipitously close to the sinkhole?
The crate is indeed still here. It is in the building to the south, and it's more specifically in this west half of the building. It's already in a wagon. You guys had it already set up for that, so all you need to do is get a couple horses hitched up and get the hell out of Dodge.
We need pack animals. Thugreal, come here.
But I'm still raging, and there's a troll to kill.
That means you can pull it twice as hard.
All right. Well, while she is stomping the troll into jelly, I'm going to. Can I get to the wagon quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I get to the wagon quickly, and I start. Are there horses nearby?
There are. The wagon is being kept in the stable, which fortuitously has horses in it.
Okay,
they are relative. They're pretty panicked considering what's happening to the ground underneath them, but they're still there.
Of course they are, but thankfully I have farm wisdom that I can use to settle them down and hitch them up.
That's true. That's very true. You don't even need to roll for it. Your farm wisdom is going to save not only your life, but the lives of the horses and the driver.
All of my characters are
Mr.
going to be
Human is happy to talk to the horses if that would help. I see no way in which I could spook the horses. I just don't see that happening at all. So,
not in the least. I'm sure that that Manfred very gently fends you off before you get close to the horses.
Don't freak out the horses, man. Where am I now?
Oh, it's abstract. You don't need to move.
Oh, okay. All right. How are the townspeople evacuating? Are there trolls still pouring in? What's the situation?
A lot of the trolls themselves, whether they've either been killed or they're fleeing for their own lives. I mean, even as dumb as a troll can be, they really have no incentive to fall to the bottom of hundreds of feet and see what's down at the bottom of these pits that are opening up. So most of them are fleeing. The ones who are staying are either falling or are being cut down by the defenders who are themselves pretty desperate to get the hell out. But for the most part, it is because you guys did such a good job of keeping them from panicking before, the evacuation is going relatively as smoothly as anything like this can be. There are still people who just flip their shit and are running for it, but most of them are just they're taking their time. They're making sure they're stepping in. They're not stepping in holes or anything. It's going relatively calmly and quickly.
Good. If I'm not much for manual labor of any sort, so if the chest is taken care of, I will probably, Mr. Human will move through the area and make sure that stragglers are getting away safely. If there's anyone who's pinned under anything, if there's anyone who is injured and is having trouble, I'm just going to helpfully and somewhat creepily make sure that any stragglers I see get out as well.
As creepy as it may be, people are not going to say no to any help in this particular situation. You are far and away the lesser of two evils, or three evils, considering there are still trolls around. So you are the best that they can hope for in that situation. And it doesn't take too long to get the wagon hitched to the horses. You guys can get out. Going on the roads is probably not a good idea, considering how many now new refugees are fleeing down them themselves. But going cross-country through one of the gaps in the wall is definitely something that you can manage to do. And as you guys leave Harrowdale, the holes, the sinkholes, the chasms are growing wider and wider, and it's just it's almost like it's a maw that's sucking the entire village down into it. You guys get a few hundred yards away, and the rumbling stops. The Harrowdale isn't really there anymore. There are a few bricks that are still on top of one another, but it's not what you could call even a ruined village anymore. And there's a depression in the earth, and then that depression starts to move away, and slowly it disappears entirely. This living dungeon, whatever it was, is now gone. It's eaten, for lack of a better word, Harrowdale. And with that, the Imperial Legions finally show up. After you guys have taken care of everything, the Legions show up. The cavalry is never on time in one of these things.
Well, I don't see what they could have done, but it's nice that they arrived.
Yeah, not a lot. If they'd been here, yesterday, they would have been but at this point, not so much.
Nikud has been making notes for a feature design for a chapel to the local god worshipped here in Harrowdale that will tell the story of this day to those who know how to read it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And with that, we are done with Make Your Own Luck.
Huzzah!
All right.
So, I guess first thing, let's see if there are any more questions from the audience.
There's one from KB.
Yes, KB. And the question is, how do any of you recommend noobs enter the world of RPGs? It looks fun but intimidating. And I know, Patrick, you said that you had an answer for that.
I will say it's obviously going to depend on what what groups you have around. You can do it online, like we're doing here. You can do it in person with friends, but it's also something that I've had some luck doing actually in play-by-post. In the play-by-post game, one of the nice things about it is that the fact that it's not in person makes people a little bit more comfortable. They don't feel like they have to talk in a voice, and they have time to look up rules before they take their actions. And I don't know, Ritzy is actually in a game that I play where a couple of the people in there were very experienced, and a couple of people had never done a tabletop style RPG before, and it seems to have worked really well for them.
Yeah, I'm in a couple of play-by-post games myself, and the pace is enough so that it's a lot more casual.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, you get a lot more chance to think about what your character is doing, look up rules, Be creative in how you're describing things.
And Wade makes a very good point that I said play-by-post. It did not actually explain what play-by-post meant. You can play these games live with your friends, just like you're playing a board game. When I had enough friends in the area and enough spare time, that's what I would do. A play-by-post game is when you get on like a forum. I've seen people play on Facebook. Ritzy made a nice forum for us, and you just post. You go post by post. In the forum, so it definitely moves slower than it would in a tabletop game, but that actually is part of what makes it a little bit easier for people who are relatively new to the experience.
One thing I always recommend to people who are new and looking to get in, which is wonderful, it's great, is to take a look at the wide variety of games out there and what sort of fun you want to have, what you're interested in. Like every sort of genre of story you can think of, there's at least 5 games. Except, there's no exceptions. But if we're plugging things, I mean, there's a lot of podcasts you can listen to that might cover that sort of thing. But this game in particular, as far as the wealth of games that you can choose, 13th Age hits a great middle spot in a lot of different spectrums, like between storytelling, improvisational focus, and tactical combat engine. It's sort of chocolate and peanut butter the whole way down in the design of 13th Age. So it's a good place to start. And see what you like and maybe branch out, and maybe it just clicks with you and you stick with it for who knows how long.
I would recommend, if you have a local gaming shop around you.
Yeah, for sure.
Stop by, talk to the people there. Chances are good that even if there's not a game going on right then and there, that people do run games, and usually people are pretty friendly to noobs who have no experience with RPGs, and they may not let you necessarily play right away, but they'll definitely let you sit in and watch. And some of them very well may let you play, depending on the group and the game store and everything like that. And so yeah, if you can connect to local people in that respect, that's definitely a really good place to go.
If you happen to be in school, there's a lot of university gaming societies. Didn't get a biography, but maybe.
And they're also... Go ahead.
The only other thing I was going to add was 13th Age is a really good game for new players. The flexibility of it can make it a little bit challenging for new GMs, but the game, maybe Wade or you, Aaron, could talk about the games that you put out on the Let's Plays that kind of give GMs a roadmap so that it's a little bit easier for new people to run games in a friendly way.
It's there are a lot, not just mine, but Grant has also put out a number of videos or recordings that are just about, they're people playing the game. And like for my game exactly, we started about 1.5 years ago, and nobody except for me had even read the book at that point. And some of them were experienced with RPGs, some of them weren't. So I'll put a link in several places after this where it'll have my playlist, and you can kind of watch as not only I learn as a GM, but the players kind of get used to the system and the kind of things that you need to know. You can watch as they learn it as well. In general, for a noob to go straight into GMing, it's kind of hard, no matter what the system is. If you can play a game, or even just a couple of sessions before you head into the GMing, you'll find that things are a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. My wife actually just got into RPGs. She joined our my monthly 13th Age game, and we've been married 19 years. So this is it's kind of a big deal for me. But she felt the same way. She thought it's really intimidating. There's a lot of rules. She's not very good at improvisation, and she's kind of introverted, so she was very nervous about that. and she just raves about 13th Age as an introduction to it, because the rules are, meaty enough that there's some stuff to learn, but it's simple enough that she doesn't feel completely at sea. And there are mechanics built in to help you do things like improvise and make up stories about your character and know what you're supposed to do next. I think it also helps that we're playing with a group of friends who are nice, and we all trust each other, and we all understand that we're there to have a good time. And so if we'll step in to help somebody with look up a rule or interpret something, or we're all there to have fun. Her experience in college with D&D was the opposite of that, where there was a ton of rules and people would make fun of you for not understanding things. So she was really happy with this experience.
Yeah, having a group can make anything much more fun.
Yeah, certainly. And it's okay if you feel intimidated or stumped. I mean, I'm looking up rules all the time, and I am our GM, so it's okay to not be entirely certain what you're doing, and again, just have fun.
Yeah, even as someone who's I've been playing for a year and a half, and I'm running roughly 2 games every 3 weeks, or 3 games every 2 weeks. Sorry, I still have to look things up all the time. Mm-hmm. It's you don't have to have things memorized. And any good group will be patient if you need to look something up, or if you misunderstood something, or if you did something wrong. Like, for example, earlier where we weren't sure if the Lance of Faith, the Javelin of Faith, did damage on a miss, as I didn't remember it, but since I was more interested in just keeping things going, I said, okay, yes, we do it, and we can look it up later. So a good group will be forgiving like that, and they'll be, because you're there to have fun, and a good group is going to want to do the best that they can to make everybody have fun. A bad group will be just about having their own fun.
Yeah. I'm just looking up real quick on Twitter to make sure I have this right. But there is they're always tweeting about 13th Age, but there's a service, I think it's Gamer Seeking Gamer, and I think their Twitter handle is something like GSG Official.
Yeah,
but, it's a place where you can post and look for a group, and they'll connect you with somebody.
There's a lot of different services that can help you find a group online, and it's really nice to have that available for those of us who might not have a local group, or who have a local group that can't play very often. If you go to Roll20, which is what the virtual tabletop we're using here, they actually have a service where you can look around at different people hosting games, and some of them will be interested in having other people join in. And there's other things like Meetup.com is good for meeting people locally who play games. There are a few other sites that can help you find a game or game store, and from there you can kind of work your way in at the pace you want to, because it can feel intimidating or overwhelming.
They're also at certain conventions like PAX, Origins, Gen Con, and that, where you can go either talk to the people that are selling the games, or there'll be several being run, where you can kind of get a one-shot in like we did here to get a feel for how things are going with a pre-made characters that you don't have to do anything with. Someone will be like, here's the character, this is what you're playing, so you can kind of get a feel for it without having to go headfirst into all the math out of the gate.
And I'll be running games at PAX Prime, both demo games, which are assuming people that haven't played it before, as well as one-shots like this, where I assume that everybody has played it at least a little bit. And there'll be ones that like the bigger conventions like Gen Con. Origins was just last week, I think, and that had a lot of people playing games too. Even the smaller conventions may very well have people running 13th Age. You might not. It might not be a bad thing to go and check, to ask around.
I may be running a game if there are ones available at 1 or 2 conventions over the summer. Just that as long as I'm there for work, on days that I have off, I may be doing that.
So yeah, there are a lot of ways that you can kind of get into the hobby. As was told before, and we obviously have an interest in it. 13th Age is a really good way to start. If that's difficult for your players, you might want to start with something like, for example, the new Star Wars game, The Edge of the Empire. That actually has a beginner box just for people who have never played it before. It comes with everything you need to run it. So that's another option as well.
Well, and of course the D&D starter set and beginner set that's basic that's coming out this summer.
Mm-hmm.
One of those two is free. Yes.
Yeah, they'll actually have the basic rules free online.
Yeah.
Dungeon World is another thing that is often suggested to people who want to get into fantasy role playing.
Yeah.
And it is Creative Commons, so the text is free, but I suggest you buy the book because it's a gorgeous book.
It is.
And I always like to steer people toward Fiasco. That's my personal habit, I guess.
Yeah.
Fiasco's a great game. And you don't need a GM for it. It's GM-less. So there you go. No one has to step up and shoulder that responsibility.
Yeah, it's completely collaborative in that respect. But yeah, there are a ton of games out there. Whatever genre, whatever level of complexity. There's games for properties that you already know, like I said, Star Wars. There's also there's a Dragon Age game, should you happen to be into that, and those sorts of things. This is another case where going down to your local game shop and just browsing can really and asking people can help out a lot as well.
All right.
So I don't think we have any more questions. Is there anything that anybody else wants to bring up before we wind down?
I wanted to give a shout out, if that's okay, to Nat and Belle, both of whom were very, very friendlily stalking Ritzy and me.
Yes. Gotta give a handout to
So thank
Natalie
you,
and
Belle.
Belle.
Thank you, Belle.
Thank you. And I know Laura was also watching, and Jeaner too. So.
Excellent.
We've had between 20 and 30 viewers consistently the whole way through, and there'll probably be more watching after the fact too. So.
Oh yeah, this video is going to take off.
Ritzy.
Yes.
It's worth noting that Jeaner made the icons that Ritzy and I are
yes.
using, and mine is that bad on purpose, because the entire point of Mr. Human is that he falls deeply into the uncanny valley and hits some rocks on the way down. So Jeaner is a wonderful artist, and people should use her for stuff.
Yes, Jeter is like, she did my icon as well, and you can see how majestic Thugreal is at the side of my banner here. And she is taking commissions, and Jeter and I are actually working on a webcomic together, so we're looking to release that near the end of August. So
let me put on screen share and zoom in so everybody can see Thugreal and Mr. Human. There you go. So
yeah, you can find Jeaner at regener, GENER.tumblr.com, and I believe she has a DeviantArt page as well. She does great work.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed Patrick's vivid imagination and evocative descriptions here, you can. I just bought the Palace Job on Kindle just prior to this game, and I look forward to reading it.
Well, thank you very much. And yes, I have another one coming out in the fall.
Excellent.
And of course, a small art house video game called Dragon Age Inquisition. Which is generally more coherent than what I just roleplayed.
Is it really?
All right. Grant, do you have anything you want to plug?
Well, if you want to see what happens when I'm running a game instead of dragging it down as a player, you can check out 13 Questions. That's 13questions.tumblr.com. That's the clearinghouse for Let's Play the 13th Age, at least until we get our website up and running. That's currently in the works. There's an episodes tab with full descriptions of everything we played, so you can start at the beginning when we're just getting started, or jump into the more recent stuff when we're firing in all cylinders, or somewhere in between, up to you. So there's that. Please check it out. I think you might like it.
All right, and lastly, I will plug myself. Even though chances are, if you're in the 13th Age community, you've probably seen my games linked at some point or another. Either my home game, which is Forgotten Sagas of the 13th Age, or the Tales of the 13th Age game that I run as well. If you play Tales of the 13th Age, you've played stuff I've written, especially Shadowport Shuffle and the Elf Queen's Enchantment, as I've been a writer on both of those, as well as the upcoming Domain of the Dwarf King. So that's pretty much all I have to plug. So I would like to thank you all for being here, all of you playing, as well as everybody watching. It's been a lot of fun. I had a really good time. And actually, we've got a small reward for those of you playing. As some of you may have seen...
Is it a magic item?
It is not a magic item. It has magic items, though, however. These are prints of the different icons. They're postcard sized, and after we are off the air, we will have you get an address to Wade. Probably just email it to him, and we will get you sent out a set of all the ones that have been released so far. So far, it's Lich King, Orc Lord, Prince of Shadows, Priestess, and High Druid, and I think the next 3 are coming soon, but I'm not sure. I think Wade would know better than I on that. But either way, we'll get those sent to you as just a small reward, and they not only a print of the icon, but if you look on the back, it actually has. Let me zoom in. It has a map of where the icon is generally found, as well as a brief description of the icon and a magic item related to the icon.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
They're really cool. The GMs for Organized Play have gotten them so far, but we wanted to get some to you as well because they're pretty nice. They're really good quality prints. So.
Well, and thanks for running this again.
Yeah,
thank you.
The game is its own reward.
maybe next time I'll get to play. I haven't played in a while. But I enjoyed running this a lot. It was a lot of fun. So thank you all for that.
Cool.
And with that, everybody say goodbye to our viewers, and I will stop the broadcast.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.